Let me grab chili really fast. Before I do that, welcome to the stream,
Oh, are we on Twitch?
YouTube.
Hey, can you
and
put up
Twitch.
the link to the calendar so that it goes by?
Yes. What is the link?
It's just going to be thrilling streaming internet here. In a second, it's just going to be me eating chili and you guys getting chili.
That's okay. I like getting it started before we start. What? Tell me the
I
link.
just sent it to you
Like on text?
on Facebook.
Well, that's what I meant.
I don't ever text you. You never return my texts. But if I send you a Facebook message, you return my Facebook messages.
Yeah, it's because my text messaging is in Messenger, and sometimes I'll get
weird.
8 text messages, and I only see the top one. Like, I don't know, it's really weird.
You are really weird.
Oh, it's good chili. It's super hot though. Turn that off.
What the hell is that?
Chewbacca.
You don't know? You don't know? Hot pan right behind you.
Hot pan. Hot pan. Hot towel.
Johnny will eat it if it has macaroni in it. Felicity won't. Yeah, there should be a room. Anna's gonna eat Sabrina and bites, because that's what I said. She's more than welcome to have noodles with it.
What if you made mac and cheese and then use that? That's what you would put on the chili.
What if you made mac and cheese and then used that?
Yeah.
So it's like cheesy chili?
Chili's really good, man. Lots of hamburgers.
Good artery clogging food right there. Sounds like to me. Some bitch.
Right. Let's move the table out and then.
See if that shows like. Oh yeah, that shows up way better.
Oh, mucho better.
No, not quite.
Oh.
Still working on
Just
it.
a little better.
It's a little better. I thought it was way better.
Alright, fuck.
Who knows? They record all of them and just play them back. You go back right, baby girl? Okay.
I'm gonna
Johnny,
consume
what chili
chilies.
mess you said?
Oh, I know what it is. Here we go.
How annoying would it be if like somebody that you were like real close with started talking to you like you were a dog all day?
Who's a good boy, Doyle? Who's a good boy? I'm gonna get you a big boy.
I don't know what I would do. Like, I think I might just ignore it because being like, he's being a jackass. We're like 6 hours in, if that was still going on, I'd be like,
Look.
I'm a good boy.
Hey, I'm a good boy.
examining myself.
You're like, you know what? I am a good boy. He's fucking right.
I'm a really good boy.
I'm the best boy. Come here and boot my snoot.
Come boot my snoot. Is that what you
I think
said?
it's on your right.
What's a snoot?
Dog nose.
I do like Fritos with my chili.
You like what?
I do like the Fritos with my chili.
Oh.
Frito patty. Sonic had Frito time for a little while, where they would just tear open the Frito bag and pour it all in there. But Frito bags are like metal, like aluminum foil kind of.
Yeah.
It'd be hot as fuck. It was like impossible to hold. You're just like, ah.
It's conducing more heat.
I was like, I feel like I see what we're trying to do here with like the advertising, but you know, how come those troughs that you have all kinds of?
That might be a little
It's like cheese dog troughs. That company has a retard.
Oh, I gotta get through here a little bit anyways too.
You good? Like if you do get like cheese dog from there, that like stupid thing that they put over on top of it, like the cheese all melts to it, and you pull it off. All the
Oh,
cheese is
the
out. I'm like,
wrapping thing?
nothing at Sonic is wrapped
You
like.
think there's not the peanut butter or anything?
No, I can.
No.
I don't think we have it.
Like the breakfast sandwiches is the only thing that come close because they come in a tin foil like sandwich bag.
Wah, wah, wah. Alright, I think you'll be able to see me through most of this. Said, I think you'll be able to see me through most of this. It's always kind of a weird angle down this table. No, that's why. Stupid wire.
I just finished Watchmen. If we want to start with that one first,
Okay.
because it's like fresh in my mind.
And that the Dr. Manhattan episode, the last episode, right?
Yes. Nothing wakes up.
Yeah.
No, it's not the finale. The finale's tonight.
No, I know it's the last episode that's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except for the one that's coming out tonight.
Correct.
Which
That's
I
the
will
one with the black-
probably fucking go home and watch.
The one with the black kid.
Yeah.
We should live pod it.
What?
I think that's illegal.
No. If you're talking about it and you have it like as not a dominant part of the shot, you can do that.
I don't think so.
As long as you're offering commentary on somebody else's licensed work, you're not breaking copyright. It's
Yeah.
the same way that all these video game streamers get away with playing video games.
I don't know. Who knows?
I know there's endless YouTube channels about all they do, but I don't know if it's actually
But
legal or not.
a lot of them can't. I think once you do stuff like that, you can't monetize those videos.
Correct.
That shouldn't be a problem anyway.
You ready?
Yeah.
We're not
Intro?
monetizing
Yeah.
it.
Do we know what? Do you know what episode it is?
Nope.
It's like way to go on last episode.
70.
Yeah, that was good, huh?
I've been listening to my ass.
163.
163.
I have enough buck tins to fill my heart up 100.
Holy fuck, it's Tim! And this is episode 1 something of Thinking Outside the Log. I'm just so
163.
confused that Tim is here, guys!
You are fucking up, bud.
Guys!
Feed my cornbreads, feed the cheddar cheese.
It's good.
It's good.
We're good.
It's good.
Longest intro ever. 25 seconds.
What was it again?
163.
63.
Yeah, we're live right now.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 163 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. I'm Gabe.
I'm Tim.
I'm Doyle.
I'm on.
And Mel is here.
I think that's too loud a little bit or not?
I don't know. It's funny, I want to talk to you about this during fan interaction because we started watching it. So, but anyway, this is not that episode.
No,
This episode
no.
we are going to be talking about Watchmen. Again, this is actually, I think, our second episode about it.
It is. Yes.
This is the
So,
first time we've ever done this as a show. Have something relevant come up twice on recent recordings.
not in the newest format, no.
No. Yeah.
Back in the
Because
day,
you'd
it
always,
happened a
because
lot.
you'd always talk about like
The
continual
same, yeah, the
episodes.
same comic books, yeah.
Just curious about.
No, this is kind of,
Fucking awesome show. So
it's worth talking about twice.
that's
That's
really good.
Alright, so let's start off with where we're at for listeners that aren't necessarily listening to this like right when it comes out. So the next to last episode, and there will be heavy spoilers in this if
Yes.
you are not caught up.
Yes.
The next to last episode is the episode where Dr. Manhattan is released from, I mean, almost captivity basically.
Oh.
Have we not recorded anything? Alright.
God damn it, we did it again.
Oh, that's funny.
You're gonna have to go back.
Hey,
Hold on, hold on.
Oh, do I have to record the intro? and
Yes, you're
everything
gonna
too?
have to record the intro. All right. It's a good thing we're only a minute in.
It's true. I'll never get it back.
I may have to have you come a little bit closer with the. 'Cause I think that is a little bit loud. So I may just have to have you come a little bit closer than normal.
Guess we wasted the good intro on me.
No, I still haven't.
Okay, now you're good.
Not really.
163.
Now we're good?
Yeah.
Alright. Holy fuck, it's Tim, and this is episode 163 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. We were so confused that we had to re-record this intro because Tim is here, and that's fucking weird.
Hi guys. Yes, I'm back.
Back to back.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 163 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. I'm Gabe.
I'm Tim.
I'm Doyle.
I'm Juan.
And today
We fucking Matrix that shit.
That's quick.
yeah, we went way faster the second time.
That was a good redo.
I think I knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
We have time to make up now. Gotta catch up.
So today we are going to be talking about Watchmen, which, as Tim studiously noted
The first time.
the first time, this is the second or the first time in our new format where we've come back to something that we previously talked about.
It's good.
So we had previously talked about the first two episodes.
I kind of like that though. I kind of like that we it's almost like a wrap up.
Getting close.
Like,
not
you know what I
quite,
mean?
Yeah.
It's almost like we
Oh, we'll
were
bring it up the third
we
time
were
later.
doing like an episode by episode, and this is kind of the last of that. Which is kinda
Except,
cool.
except for we only did 2 episodes.
Well, but we did
versus
3. Like I think it was 3 episodes, 2 episodes or 3 episodes the first time.
Just 2.
Was it 2 episodes?
Yeah.
So we only got like 6 to cover.
Yeah, that's true. Was that last one episode 8?
I think it's 8 or 9. That is.
There, all I know is there's one more episode left. So if you're
Yes.
listening
Yeah.
to this, like a little bit after it dropped, we have not seen the season finale of this yet. It's coming out tonight, so we'll probably all be watching it, sometime here in the next week or two, and we'll talk about it again. But this episode is going to be heavy spoilers if you haven't caught up on Watchmen. We're going to talk about what happens. We're going to talk about what's going on, going through episode 8.
So 9 will be the finale. So we're
And
through.
so
it.
we've watched 8 episodes of it.
So yeah, if you don't want spoilers, push pause now. Go catch up.
Yeah, because that's all the rest of this is going to
That's
be.
all I did today.
So the next to last episode, the one that we are all caught up on, is the one where Dr. Manhattan gets released effectively from his captivity inside of.
It's not really
Caleb.
captivity.
What's his name?
His own
John.
John, not
No,
John.
Calvin.
Calvin, that's
Calvin.
it. Yeah,
His name is John.
yeah.
Kind of.
Calvin of the big black dick, as opposed to John of the big blue dick.
I wonder if that was a prosthetic. You think?
I don't
Or
know.
if that was his real penis.
It looked like it was swinging pretty natural.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, whoa! It was a pack of heat. That's all I know. It wasn't even like, it was just massive all around.
It was girthy and long.
Veiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
How
talks.
close were you?
No.
How close were you guys to the TV? I didn't notice any of that.
It was real close.
I was too busy jerking off.
Oh, wow.
And then it's online in the credits, bro.
Manhattan's dick.
Played by Calvin.
Animated by list of 25 people.
Special thanks to Jim Henson for animating Dr. Dick.
All right. Now that we've gotten the prerequisite dick jokes out of the way.
Oh, you know there's more to come.
So, what have you guys thought of this show? Like, I think of all the things that have come out post Watchmen comic book that have tried to capture the essence of Watchmen, including the Before Watchmen comic book series and the movie and all of that
Which
stuff.
is okay.
This is the thing that has really captured the aesthetic and the feel of the comic book the best, I think.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
As do I. As the resident Watchmen fanboy, yes, I love
This is the only Watchmen I've ever seen.
So I've been rereading the comic book because my son Ashton watched it, or is watching the show and reading the comic book too. And man, like the way they jump between ideas and go into the past and use different camera shots and different like cinematography to like indicate different like ideas and thoughts is exactly what they did in the comic book too. And it's really, really cool how they've managed to integrate like that visual aesthetic of the Watchmen comic into the show in a really good way. I feel like if Alan Moore wasn't just in such a perpetual I'm a dickhead space, he probably would actually enjoy the shit out of this.
I feel like we would too.
Yeah.
Because even you said last night, the nostalgia episode, where
Where he goes back in time and
where
is
she
in,
goes back in time.
yeah, and is in her grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That episode.
That's not confusing as fuck.
Yeah. That episode is amazing. And then, like I was telling you last night, we prepared for one of the best Dr. Manhattan stories ever told, I think, because it was perfect. It keeps jumping from all his different timelines that he's experiencing all the time. So it's confusing a little bit at first, and then it starts to make sense. You're like, oh, wait, no, that's him.
But it's still, even though it's jumping around in time and space, it still manages to tell like an incredibly linear, straightforward story while going all these different places at
Yeah.
the same time. Like, it's fucking amazing.
Like when he sits down, he's like, will you have dinner with me tomorrow? He's like, I don't know, don't you know everything? He's like, not yet.
No, it's cool. But so as somebody that hasn't read the comic, how does the show feel to you?
I really enjoyed it. There are things that I still don't really understand, and I didn't understand Vite's story at all until the last episode.
Right.
Because I just didn't get it. I thought he was in an actual prison. Like I thought he had been. He was just captive there.
Right.
Well, the gamekeeper is kind of keeping it like that.
But
The first half.
I thought it was because he did lots of things, because he has his trial. But I thought that's why he was there. Like somebody had purposefully,
Sure, I thought he was in jail
maliciously
too.
sent him there.
Well, some kind of jail.
But I didn't. But he's there because he
Willingly.
wanted to be there
Yeah.
at first, and then he's bored or he's
Well,
just
he
tired
has-
of them
he has-
worshiping him.
He has the same problem that Dr. Manhattan has. Dr. Manhattan is there for so long, just allowing them to worship him, that it doesn't mean anything anymore, and he becomes tired of it, and so he moves on to something else. He gives it to Vite, and Vite's like, why the fuck did I choose to do this? This is awful.
Yeah.
So,
Mistakes were made.
yeah, mistakes definitely were
And then
made.
he catapults a ton of his own clothes into space.
Yeah.
That whole episode, I was like, what the hell? And then he makes the giant help me sign out of dead bodies.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
When he grabs I was so thoroughly confused. The clones coming out of the lake, the river, or whatever bullshit. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
But then they explain it in that last episode in a really cool way, where he's like going through the creation process.
He's like, did you rest on the seventh day?
He's like, it took 90 seconds.
Yeah, it took about 90 seconds. How did you do it? Well, I waved my hands like this. Alright, bro?
Yeah, I do love the chicken and the egg moment, where he's like, oh, it's the chicken and the egg.
Yeah.
Which came first? Both at the same time.
Because there's so little that confuses Dr. Manhattan, like paradoxes and miracles are like, huh?
I just like that moment where he's all, huh, cool.
Yeah.
It's still done. There's still flaws in his timeline, but it's very close to well done, I think.
So he's the one who. The other thing I don't understand is he created, and maybe they'll explain it at the very, very end, but he created whatever this squid monster is. But it made it sound like it was a fake thing.
Yes.
Like it
so-
wasn't actually a monster.
So it is a physical monster,
It was real.
and it causes that psychic explosion, but Vite made it, blamed Dr. Manhattan for it, like basically
Right.
saying that he caused this alien to crash land, but it's not really an alien. It's a construction that he made to convince everybody that this was out there so they would all start working together instead of against each other.
But so
It's a goal.
I guess I didn't understand what it how. I guess they didn't
It's in the
explain
comic.
That's
He makes it in the
I was
comic.
like, yeah, I was like, I don't because once they said that it wasn't, I just thought it wasn't real. Like I once they said it was a construct of something that he created, then I was like, well, how the fuck do the little squid babies keep happening?
Because he's making them.
Yeah.
That's what you're watching.
You
That
see that
round
scene in the
thing,
last
all-
episode when it's all shooting down in front of him?
Ah,
that's him
Those are
making
the
the
squid
little
babies.
squids
Yeah.
that he's shooting at the earth.
Gotcha.
And how all things just become totally like a routine nonsense to everybody. It's like, fucking squid's good.
Right, but it's that perpetual reminder that they need to remain united,
Right.
or everything falls
All he
apart.
says in that scene, he's like, preserving world peace one cephalopod at a time.
Yeah,
What
Love
is
that
he?
quote.
Vite.
Yeah, I
He's
mean, I
the
know.
smartest man in the world.
Is that
Number
like he doesn't have a
2.
superpower?
Yeah, he is like his,
Technically,
well, no,
Manhattan's smarter than him.
his superpower is that he is like a super genius.
Yeah.
He's like a lot like Lex Luthor. where Lex Luthor's real only power is
Right.
that he's
Luthor
just so
and
fucking
Batman were combined.
yeah
In fight.
with Brainiac.
Yes.
That's a different.
I
episode.
love Jeremy Irons. I
Yeah.
love Jeremy Irons.
Oh, he's killing it.
I just watched Die Hard with a Vengeance again because I was watching Watchmen and I was like, fuck, I should go watch that movie. It's fucking amazing. I love Jeremy Irons.
He makes such a great villain.
Yeah, perfect. Is he? So he's an anti-hero though. He's not really a villain.
No, not really. He thinks he's doing the right thing,
Right,
but
yeah.
he ends up
Like,
I mean,
killing
if you
like
read the
3
comic,
billion people.
Yeah. And Rorschach is a fatality because of him, technically.
Right.
He was my friend, but he tried to kill me once.
I like that moment where he's all, you know, I'm experiencing the last time we talked with each other 24 and a half years ago. He's all, what did I say to you? You were trying to kill me. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, sorry.
He's like, how did you know it was me? It's like, I don't know anyone with the balls to show up totally naked here.
I don't know. It's been fascinating. Like just the way it's designed, the way it's filmed, the new characters that they've introduced seem to fit in that universe a lot better than the comic book ones did.
I also didn't understand why the what's his name? The Hood, Justice Hood. What's his
Hooded
name?
Justice.
Hooded Justice. I don't know. Yeah, something like that. I don't understand why he was gay. Like they just I get that he's probably gay.
Sometimes
Like I don't
men
get
like
that.
men.
No, I know that, but it was just like they just threw it on the screen for 2 seconds, like it was supposed to mean something,
I
and
feel
then
like
it
that's
just didn't.
A lot of what they're doing with gay right now in TV, I think I brought up last time where it's like lesbianism is rampant on all TV shows right now, but for gay, they just throw a butt fucking scene in and they just let it go and then they just don't talk about it again. They're like,
That's the thing.
that's how
like,
you know that
that's-
motherfucker's gay.
That's what I'm saying. Like I thought it would mean something. Maybe his wife would find out, or I thought it was gonna lead to something, but it just didn't. They just fucked one time, and then that was pretty much. They were just kind of lovers.
So I think the idea is that in the comic book, Hooded Justice is like the paragon perfect superhero that everybody else looks up to.
Yeah.
And what they're trying to like make him is the opposite of what everybody thinks he is. Like, so he's not only not white, he's black, and he's not interested in girls, even though he's married to like somebody else, like in the Minutemen.
Bisexual.
Yeah. So it kind of makes it this, like, let's take a character everybody thinks they know and turn it on their head. Like maybe, like I don't feel like the game.
But he's still a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's just got some flaws.
Well, most
They're not even really flaws.
Yeah, they're not really flaws. It's just
He's
lifestyle
just,
choices.
at that time, he couldn't be a black superhero. He couldn't be a
He
gay
can be a gay superhero, and I think that's the story it's
Could be
trying
gay
to
and
tell.
black. Period.
It's just a weird
Time period.
thing
It's
to
terrible.
not say anything about.
I do agree they just don't address it again. It's weird.
Yeah, and they may. I mean, there
They
might be
may
more
not,
about
but,
it.
Yeah.
You
If
know,
I get fucked in the next episode, then we'll learn a little bit more.
about this guy.
You
No.
know?
They gotta remind everybody he's gay, so they have to show the butt fuck.
That's the thing. They never. He doesn't. There's no conflict in him up to that point.
No.
He's just gay, and then all of a sudden it's
I just-
nothing again.
I just
It's
noticed
the
that's
weirdest
happened in
thing.
a couple TV shows. Like if you watch Designated Survivor, they have a gay character who exactly the same way. You don't know the guy's gay. He's in the show. Cut to a scene of him just getting fucking rammed in the ass, and then that's just it. I'm just like, there's no build up to that.
Here it
I
is.
didn't need to know that.
It's just it's not a bad character because to me it doesn't matter. I don't give a fuck. But they didn't explain it. There was nothing to it, and it felt empty then. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like I thought that there would be a more grandiose resolution to that, and then it just felt empty to me.
Right. It just kind of goes nowhere. It just is.
Like, nobody knows if season 2 is going to happen at all, but if it does, I imagine we'll deep dive that more. Because
David Lindelof is a
there
secret
are-
bitch
there are definitely
I wouldn't be surprised
with
if
everything that he does.
I feel
Yeah.
like every TV show is trying to get like a couple hooks in the politically correct sphere that they just feel like they have to have.
yeah.
That's one of them, so they could dive into it more, or they might not. Like I
See, and
feel
that's the
like
thing.
it's
Do
over there.
do gay people, do homosexuals take that to be like, yeah, he's gay? Because I feel like if you just don't explain it or you don't deep dive into it, then you're just like, well, what? Why that didn't even matter? Like, who cares?
There is definitely more important shit that happens in that episode, so it does feel kind of throwaway.
It's like the
he's gay
token,
now.
it's like
Alright.
the token Mexican guy on the show or the token Asian
Right.
guy on the show. Like sometimes if you don't like, it's fine to have it in there, but if you don't like address it in any way or like make it relevant to the story in any way, it just seems like it's there for pandering's sake. You know, and there's definitely, like you're saying, almost every show is trying to pander to one audience or another to like try to make extra money or get that reaction from people. Yeah, and they may have felt like they had written the kind of story where people were like, "Holy shit, Hooded Justice is gay and nobody knew." What? But nobody had that reaction
Right.
because they had so normalized it in the show, and it was just kind of like a, "Yep, he's gay." And such a toss away that everybody else was like, okay.
To be
there's
honest,
nothing-
I feel equally weirded out when they do the same style of thing with heterosexual sex, when it's just like, why is that there?
Oh no,
Why
I
is
get
that in
that.
the show?
And that's the thing. If I feel like if he through the show, through that episode where you get to really see who he is, if there were small little things like he was looking at a dude or the only indication is the small little hand touch where when he passes him the note, and then it's just fucking pound town.
Right.
And, that's it. And it's like, what the fuck?
That's the sign.
Yeah. So watch out.
Yeah, right? That's how it happens.
Gotta go pound town.
It's just weird.
It wasn't gentle, that's for sure.
It was not gentle.
It's not
I don't
between
think
us
any
either.
of it is gentle.
And then he's all, let's wear masks this time. And
Yeah.
then the scene's just kind of over. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Well, now we know what superheroes do in their spare time.
You
Oh, we
can
can-
hit it again.
You know how to go into a refrigerator,
Yeah.
dipshit.
I know
Sometimes
you know
it's
how to
weird.
get into a refrigerator.
That's true.
Oh, man.
No, I enjoyed it.
I'm loving the shit
Vite,
out of it.
The Vite part was confusing, and then I was like, "Holy fuck, that makes so much sense."
Honestly,
now.
what's more confusing to me right now that they've explained it is the gamekeeper character. I'm like, why is he being all horny?
That's what I'm
Yeah.
weirded out about.
I
Like,
understand why he's
is
different.
the
'cause he's a person.
gamekeeper Dr. Manhattan? Like, is the
Well, I
gamekeeper...
just assumed I
the
just
game-
assumed they. I'm sorry.
I think the gamekeeper is the original
He is.
He
I
had
think, I
him
think
or
they made,
whatever that Dr. Manhattan.
He
they
said
made
that.
that evident. Yeah.
He said
Oh.
he was the first to walk out.
I must have missed that.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like Manhattan maybe tricked Vite to going up there because he needed him to, and then maybe that's why the game work exists to keep him there.
Well,
Because he
I
knows that Vite's smart enough that he might figure out a way to get back somehow.
Right.
just thought that he wanted him to stay there, or there was nothing for them to. They would feel
There
like
was nothing
there
for
was
them to
nothing
worship.
for them to exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why that's all the purpose that he has in this cloned life is that
I definitely
that's
thought
it to worship something.
I definitely thought that as well, but then I thought, why would they just worship the gamekeeper? Because he's clearly a different level of character.
But
Also,
he's not.
I mean, he's the same person,
He just
but
has
he's way
set,
more self-aware.
he's just set himself up in that position.
Yeah.
They all seem fairly self-aware whenever it comes down to it.
I felt sad for him, honestly,
Yeah.
when he said
Totally
he was
willing to
lonely
die.
and there were people like fucking waiting for him, even though there's not. I don't think
Yeah.
millions of people there. But it's just once you made the connection that now he is in his own prison, it just felt really sad.
Yeah.
And then he put himself there willingly.
Yeah.
Whoops.
I wonder if they're going to resolve Manhattan's death tonight. Because the way that it works, he had to have constructed it himself.
Well,
Like,
it's
he
his
doesn't.
own fault that he died.
Well, I mean, not only could he have just not stood there because he knows, but he also tells the old man what his wife tells him in the future. It's all happening at the same time to him, but he didn't have to do that. Like, so he obviously orchestrated that whole line of events
Right.
on purpose for some reason.
And maybe it's to free Vite. Maybe it's to just destroy the clones. Maybe there's like some machination that all these things have to happen to get rid of this thing that he created because it no longer has a purpose.
Well, it seems to be with the Rorschach guys, though. That's what
The
I'm talking
seventh
about.
cab, yeah.
Because, like, he
Maybe
literally didn't have to
Rorschach's
do
not dead.
any of it.
And we haven't seen Mirror
Yeah.
for like,
For like 3 episodes, I think.
episodes,
Yeah, it's
4
been 2 or
So the
3
last
episodes.
time he's mentioned, there's
he
like,
like straight murdered
Yeah,
like
like-
10 dudes.
yeah, they're all in his fucking bunker bleeding out.
Yeah.
I don't think he's one of them.
I
Are we
don't
ever-
think so either.
Are we
No, that's what the guy
Yeah,
said.
I know.
Yeah. Or are we ever going to get more of the other two costume heroes that haven't gotten any play? The Russian
The
dude
Russian
and
guy.
the other woman?
The gypsy.
The gypsy?
Yeah.
I think they're just. God, they're just.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
I know,
extra
but
that's
there's
cool,
still-
Why is
there's-
that guy always eating Cheetos with the fucking fork?
He's doing walking tacos. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So you take a bag of Cheetos, you put like chili and cheese and shit on it, and you just eat it out of the
That
bag.
is the weirdest thing. Every time I see him, he just has a Cheeto on a fork.
Yeah. So he's eating
A
like
puff
walking,
Cheeto.
yeah, walking taco. I think.
Fuck.
That's weird. I've
He's
never
always
heard of that.
he's always
Me
eating
neither.
junk food too. Like
I mean,
Always. He's always eating.
Yeah.
yeah,
But every time I see him, he's eating Cheetos out of a bag with a fork.
I love that he's Russian and then he wears a fucking like ski mask.
Yeah,
Which is
Right?
red
Yeah, it's in his red
track
fucking
outfit.
jumpsuit.
Yeah.
or balaclavas or something.
Oh, balaclava.
I love it. Okay, thank you.
Oh no, that's good shit.
Can I have
Like,
that chip for
Because I like that actor that's playing him.
the cheese?
I
The
want to.
Russian guy.
I
Yes,
want to
it's
see
that
more
Fritos.
of like the whole world. Like if this shit
Yeah.
doesn't get a second season, I'm gonna be pretty fucking irritated.
All the things.
So far, it has not been renewed yet.
But Damon says that he doesn't. I mean, from what he has interviewed, he said that
Lindelof.
he's not. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not even sure if he wants to make another one. I don't know that there's
Make another one
there's
what?
another season.
Season to watch. Right?
Yeah, I don't know that there is a. Yeah, I'll make one if they renew it. I just don't know that he's shown the interest to do it.
I just think the wheelbarrows of money.
But he's already. I mean, I guess you could never take too many wheelbarrows, but
I think there's
He's
a lot of
already
people in
pretty
Hollywood
rich.
doing things for the wheelbarrows of
Perfect
money.
life over here.
yeah. I don't need that wheelbarrow money. Oh man.
Have you heard the story of where that came from?
the wheelbarrow's full of money.
Yeah, because it's a Neil Gaiman story. And they came at him to write Beowulf, the movie, and he was like, I don't want to write that. It's been done to death. And he was like, and then they brought me a wheelbarrow of money. He was like, how dare you think you can buy me with such a pins? And he's like, and then they brought me 2 wheelbarrows.
And he was like, "Where do I sign?" Right?
Yeah, it's
Man, Beowulf, that was a fucking shit-tastic movie
It is.
one of
too.
those movies.
Start
All they do is
breathing.
rely on
Actually,
special effects.
Like,
Just awful.
well, it's just. Yeah, I'll take more. You can talk.
Yeah, you're fine.
Mel's here, everybody.
Usually you're yelling, so it's all right.
My anxiety's up today.
Ugh. Mine too, actually.
We love you, Mel.
I love you.
It's a little time left.
So, Watchmen, still a thumbs up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Looks
big
like it's
time.
coming to a close.
I thought Regina King was gonna die. Honestly.
So did I.
When
You still might.
No. But when he's talking about how he loves her and this is the moment, and then
Yeah.
she's like, "Yeah, this is where I save you." I was like, "Oh fuck."
She's
gonna
like, is this
die."
supposed to be romantic? We've been together for years, and you're now falling in love with me. He's like, no, I've been in love with you the whole time. Manhattan timelines.
When
Yeah.
when she's in the truck, I thought Looking Glass. I thought that was gonna be the point where Looking Glass actually made the save.
That's his name, Looking Glass.
And then nothing.
Yeah.
God, I love it.
Well, some
And then just
he's
head
all.
explosions.
He's not just Neo. He's like Neo plus the dude from Scanners. It's
He
amazing.
does do the Neo. He stops a bunch
Yeah.
of bullets while he's bursting other people.
I just love these all. Boom, boom.
But I feel like Doyle's right because if he knows everything all at once and he's kind of experienced everything in the future and now, I think is what I get from it.
He literally
He
could have
let
just
that
not
guy.
told the old man anything. He could have just
He
not
just
said anything,
not said anything.
and nothing would have gone bad.
But he let the dude live, and then he gave her a speech of, "Oh no, I still died." You know what I mean? When he could have just killed the dude,
Yeah.
or let her kill him.
Well, that cannon.
Or just not stood there.
That
Well,
cannon.
that cannon just takes him somewhere else.
Well, the cannon they shoot him with.
Yeah.
Shoots a. They called it a tachyon cannon, and the tachyon particles
He
are the
can't
one
stole
thing
that from the
Manhattan
Flash.
can't
See,
see.
Manhattan can't see that second, but he knows where he's going that second and could just not go there.
Maybe.
Like he could have just been like, "Hey, bitch, let's go somewhere else." It's
Well,
the same.
it
Actually, the
sounds like he knew
same
he was
thing
gonna die.
was happening in Doomsday Clock, where like he can't see past a certain instant, and that's where Superman and him. That's why everybody thinks the Superman fight between him might kill him because he can't tachyon induced. But he knows every second up until that moment. Like he's waiting for it.
Why couldn't he see the moment with the? I didn't understand the ring, well, the one that gets put into
So
his
that's
head.
the same thing. It's the tachyon.
You
When
can't
he
see
puts
with
it,
tachyon radiation.
once he puts it
Oh.
on, the little ring in his forehead is like where his power comes from, effectively. So it envelops that, and
So
he
Vite
just goes
made it
right.
or it found it?
He made it
Okay.
because
Brand.
smartest man in the world.
He's like, what is that?
I don't. I'm not saying you're wrong. I don't know his power comes from there, but I do know that kind of like lobotomized
Yeah.
the tachyon radiation.
And I do have to agree with Joel, because Manhattan does have the wherewithal to get the kids out of there.
No.
So he could have easily saved himself and
Right, but he has,
He could have just
Yeah.
blown them up from inside.
and he
Like,
knows that,
boom through the window.
and he knows that something else. Oh, you did. You know that something else happens afterwards because he knows that things have happened in the future. So
Yeah.
he's dead, but I mean, it's not like the first time he's fucking put himself back together because that's why he's Dr.
That's what I was
Manhattan.
thinking. Was that he's gonna die and then just reassemble himself.
Exactly. It'll
Or
be just as painful as it was the first time.
for some reason he might have to die.
Yeah.
That's why he's not electing to avoid it.
Or he's dumb.
or he's not actually Manhattan, he's a gay black dude.
He's New Jersey.
He's like, you guys don't understand how bad my back hurts from carrying around this gigantic log. I'm just ready for it to end.
Should have jumped into a Chinese dude.
Well, if she wasn't comfortable.
He did have the option.
He gave her the choice.
True.
Yeah.
And she said, "I'll take biggest dickens."
I like that she's all, I'm sorry. Wham! Hits him with the fucking
The hammer.
The hammer. Oh God!
Because I didn't see that ending coming. I wasn't sure that he even bothered including Manhattan at all, just because of the special effects budget and the fact that
But it looked really good.
It
Yeah.
did
It
look
looked
really good.
really good.
But I was like, when she starts calling him John, I was like, no way. And he's like, my name's not John. And I was like, what? Blue blow at the end of the episode. I was like, no fucking way. They're gonna drive Dr. Manhattan in the series. All right, I'm in.
But I think it took up till then for me to be convinced that they could pull that shit off.
Yeah.
Because like this show builds and builds and builds and builds, and it like has to earn your trust because like the original source material is like so monumental for people
Yeah.
that I think if it didn't spend all that time like creating the world and making sure that it like honors the source material while creating something that's equally as good,
Yeah.
that it's not, I wouldn't have bought into it. If this show was any lesser, I would not have wanted to see their version of Dr. Manhattan.
I mean, say what you want about the source material, but they use Watchmen as a teaching, thing in colleges and high schools.
Like, it's on Time's 100 best novels.
Yeah, like, love it or hate it, you cannot deny the significance of its, literal work.
Exactly. I don't know. It's
So,
been awesome.
good.
I love the show.
I liked it.
Massive thumbs up.
oh yeah.
Big thumbs up.
Big blue dick
Very
So
suck.
good.
where are we leading? So right now, Manhattan just died with air quotes because we
Right,
don't know.
because we don't know.
Regina King just watched it. Looking Glass is somewhere to be found. We don't know what the true lady's
True.
doing with
Yeah,
that
Lady
fucking
True.
big clock
The
thing.
Millennium Clock.
Why the fuck there was a giant
I assume
elephant?
it's going to erase
attached to her.
everybody's memory.
Silk Spectre is still a hostage of the 7th Cavalry, so she might be witnessing Manhattan being teleported into that weird box.
Dude, I dislike her character.
Me too.
Yeah, but I dislike her character in the comic, too.
Also that.
Yeah.
She's a character you're supposed to not like.
Does she also not have superpowers?
No, she does not.
She does not as
She
well?
just fights.
She's no Lori Grimes, but I don't like her.
It took me a second.
What you're talking about? She's a bad bitch. That's how
I
she
fucking love how much you hate Lori Grimes, by the way.
She's the best Lori.
And Vite is still in prison.
We think.
On
Yeah,
Europa.
So,
on your road.
so the only character that hasn't really been referenced at all is the Night Owl. Do you think he's going to show up in the last episode at all? Or maybe be teased at the end of it?
For the second season? I mean, they showed a ship.
Yeah.
For some reason, the police just have.
Yeah,
police
the
have
cops
some
just
damn
have
reason.
his ship.
And they crashed it. So,
I think Vite made it for him, though.
I think so too.
If I remember, there's like some throwaway line about that in there.
Because in the movie, that
I
was
should
kind of
read Watchmen again because I haven't read it since like high school.
Yeah. I don't know. Be interesting to
Whatever
see
the
what
source
they do.
material is, the show is good.
Yeah. You would love the comic, I think. You should definitely give it a shot.
You can even go watch the Snyder film and then just reimagine the ending instead of giant explosions, it's a giant squid.
Nice.
Yeah.
The
Same difference.
The movie does, as much as people hate it, It sticks to the comics pretty decently.
They changed the end, which
Yeah.
is frustrating, but
I think they kind of had to.
yeah,
I don't know how that would have gone over with the movie public, but the end just a giant squid.
Yeah.
just blart.
It would work now because of the popularity of kaiju films. Maybe
But
like superhero movie with a kaiju ending.
Because it's
maybe.
just such a random thing.
I think it would work. I
It
mean,
would
it
work
serves
now,
the
though.
plot in the comic really well.
It would
So
work for anyone who loves the comic. I agree with you. I'm just talking about the person who's never read it, not thinking a giant squid's about to land on top of the city.
but I feel like
I did it 20 minutes ago. You didn't let I squid the city.
I mean,
John's just there screaming.
what the fuck? Aquaman saved me! I would love if they did that because it would just be so weird.
I also
Yeah.
It would be so weird and unexpected, and that's exactly what the comic book was for all those
Yeah.
years. It's just weird and unexpected.
even honestly, the 7th Cavalry wearing the Rorschach masks makes sense to me now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Rorschach's a bit of a piece of shit.
Yeah. Like people love his character.
No, I think Rorschach was like unrelenting in what he believed, and they're doing the same thing.
Yeah,
And Manhattan, where they're killing Manhattan.
Well, Manhattan, or Rorschach is a piece of shit. Like, he does not approve of homosexuals. He does not approve of, like, promiscuous sex. He does not approve of,
He's
like,
just a
race
Republican
blending.
dude.
Yeah,
right.
but he's a badass and he takes care of motherfuckers that step out of line. So people love that about him.
Yeah.
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 We've been
Take
doing
Rorschach.
well.
Sorry, did I just
Last name's
shout
Trump.
that too hard a little bit?
No,
Rorschach Trump.
pretty much.
Rorschach 2020.
I mean, might as well. No compromise.
That's his campaign slogan.
No compromise.
Yeah.
Ever.
What about the children?
The streets will rain red.
Yeah. His opening monologue.
Yeah.
is some of the best, like, written literacy ever.
Just hating on everything.
Yes.
That would be his campaign slogan. All
Yes.
whisper no.
Yes. Don't vote for me. I don't want this.
And you
Gets
don't
voted.
want this.
Gets voted in anyway.
Yeah. All right. So around the circle, and let's probably
Thumbs up.
probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
So thumbs up. Number scale.
7.5 out of 10. Just because I don't. It's still a little confusing.
Yeah.
And it's not wrapped up. We don't really know what the end has for us in store. If that was a complete sentence. So I'm excited to see it.
They should do entire episodes, just single shot. His antics involved. There's a monologue happening in the background.
It's like a GoPro, like it's just his dick, but you see like the sides of his hips, like he's moving around, he's walking.
It's like a dig of all the hips, and you see things in the background that's blurry.
Yeah. It's like Blair Witch, but instead of a face that's dripping snot, it's just his cock.
Wow. On that note, thumbs up everybody around. I'm guessing. I'm guessing.
Thumbs up in numbers.
Yeah, it's like a 9.7 out of 8 out of 10. One half.
Ooh.
In one hand. I'm gonna go with 9 out of 10 giant blue dicks.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna say this is a 100 and 100% because nothing can be better than 100%.
Surprised you was that high of a rating.
Yeah, I really dig it. I'm making the shit out of it. I'm all in.
I approve. I do think it's the best show on television at the moment, I would say.
I would agree with that.
I'm gonna give it 110%.
That is not a real number.
Your face is.
Well, with that, this has been episode 163 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. Be sure to check out our boudoir calendar at totlb.com/product/2020-boudoir-calendar. I'm going to make a shorter link for that at some point. But be sure to check it out. It's a really great thing. We did a really good job on it, and that's not something I always say about stuff that we do. So be sure to check it out. Buy yourself a calendar. There are some very attractive. There are some very attractive ladies in it. Past that, you can find us on all the social medias. You can find all the information for that at www.totlb.com. We will see you guys in a few days, where we will be talking about our pop culture classic,
Galaga.
Gattaca.
Fuck
No, not Galaga. Gattaca.
Galaga.
Oh,
Not
Galaga.
Galaga. We can talk about Galaga, but that's not what we said we were going to talk about.
Galaga is way more interesting.
I
to me,
do.
if I'm
I
being
love
honest.
playing Galaga.
I love Galaga
I
too.
had the high score when we were at San Diego.
That's true. You did.
Let's combine Galaga, Gattaca, and Gallagher.
Ooh,
Yes.
man, watermelon hammers.
Trademark.
The
Can
three
we
Gs.
trademark Galaga?
The 3 Gs.
You know what? Next episode, Gattaca, Galaga, and Galaga.
Sold.
See ya. What the fuck? Hey Mel. You know what? If you're getting up, I'll get up.
Oh, somebody get another drink.
Yeah.
We could be a drink as well.
Genie forever.
Someone
Alcoholic
kept me.
drink.
No, my desire to get drunk left me really fast.
One has these and like cherry Sprite, I think,
I'll
right?
take that.
That's
Yeah.
Sprite.
I ate too much to want to get drunk. That's really good chili though.
Wow, we recycle in this house.
If you go right out to the garage, it's right the little white trash can right there.
Okay.
I'm gonna open up this door.
Can't hold it back anymore.
Cold, never Bob, and just 2 songs. Singing snippets of songs all day. I have these stuff in my phone.
Also, that's my favorite dinner we've had.
Yeah,
Thank you. You wanna build
it was a chilly day.
My favorite part is when she's at the.
I think that's part of it. It's the right time.
Right. Because I love the way we finish each other's sandwiches.
That was what I was gonna say. Watch out for my butt. What?
So are we considering this a Doyle pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And then we'll do us and then Jason.
Because I would like to do Life.
Oh yeah, the Mark
Eddie
Lawrence
Murphy.
and Eddie Murphy movie. I love that movie.
Like,
Yes, it is super funny, but like super touching.
You haven't seen that movie?
I'm thinking I have, but I just can't picture
They go to
it.
They go to
Prison?
prison
Yeah.
for life for not murdering someone.
Yeah.
Okay, for some reason, the movie that I could not get out of my head was the movie where that boy grows up in real time.
Oh, A Boy's Life?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that.
Isn't that Alien movie that everybody was thinking
Yes.
was going to be the precursor to Venom also called Life?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what
Where
I was
Ryan
thinking.
Reynolds dies like really quick.
'Cause I was
They
about to be
still-
like, yeah, I'm interested.
They still have
and
not
now I'm
even
like,
said that that's not.
alright, I guess.
They still haven't even said that's not a precursor to Venom.
Yeah, this is
They
true.
just left it
I
open.
promise you,
Yeah.
if you actually watch that movie, it's fucking hilarious.
You'll love this movie. It's actually really funny.
The Venom movie?
No,
Oh.
Life.
I mean, Venom is kind of.
It is the Venom movie.
All right.
Hold on.
No, just sat. No, just kidding.
I do this.
Shit, Daryl. Oh, that's rad. Kitty Pride.
Oh, that is a red kid pride.
I can dig it.
Can you dig it?
Jesus, people are actually watching our Twitch. Oh my god.
That sucks.
What is that dude doing?
Oops. Quiet, Twitch.
That's funny.
So much hair. That
That takes a lot of commitment, bro.
that is some like artisan dye job
Yeah.
too.
You gotta get those things in the right fucking place.
Oh man. Hello, viewer.
Hello, viewer. My calendar, sucker.
Bye, viewer.
Oh, my viewer.
You're just viewing yourself.
Why are you
No,
yelling at
it was
folks?
it was
We can sign it if you want. I don't know why you'd want that, but we will.
it was Twitch.
both of the calendars that have been purchased, they want us to stop paying.
This is Topanga. Why
Weird.
This World lasted 7 seasons.
One is Albie though, so.
Oh.
And he wants Taylor to kiss her page.
God, what a fucking sad sack that dude is.
Albie.
Not
Why does he
recording, are
want
we?
Taylor to
No,
kiss
she'll
He's
do it. She'll
obsessed
do
with
it.
Taylor. Absolutely,
He
she'll
wants
do
to have
it.
sex with us.
Hey, wait.
I said
Oh,
obsessed with
obsessed
Taylor,
with Taylor.
but
But probably
Yeah.
won't
Hey,
have sex
does
with
that mean that Valerie can kiss her page for me?
yeah, why wouldn't she?
Can she kiss me for me?
Oh my god.
on which
I don't think-
lips?
Yes.
I don't think Mike
As
ever
long as
said
you
that.
pay $15.95, I don't care what happens.
I'm not
Whenever
gonna
you
pay
went to
sh-
that
I'm
guy.
not gonna pay shit for Bowser.
No, I'm just joking.
No, it's her. She's like Santa. I know her.
I know him.
We only watched that this year. What's going on with that?
I told you it hasn't felt like Christmas really yet because nobody put lights up because of the weather, and
It doesn't feel like Christmas
I
at
just
all.
haven't thought
We did it
about
on
Christmas.
last
Yeah.
Sunday. We did it because it was like 50-something degrees.
Let me tell you, you're all wrong. It is 110% Christmas.
I didn't
Uh,
want to do it.
It's
you-
been Christmas since before Thanksgiving. Fuck you guys.
Well, yeah.
My Christmas
Your
happened.
life doesn't count, man.
My Christmas happened
Aw.
immediately after Thanksgiving.
No, he's right.
That's not what I meant. His life is just very different than ours.
You should die.
I also did not say that.
Back from one recording session, already being told to leave.
Episode 169, where Gabe kills Tim.
After butt fucking.
For some reason, he had a mask on.
Some would say during. Who are we to
He was penetrated to death.
Butt fucked him to death. What a horrible way to die. 164?
Yeah.
Who knew the Google little shits would include his soul?
Welcome to episode 164 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. Gallagher, Gallagher, and Galga.
I don't think you said that, right?
Gallagher,
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Ga-
I
Gallagher.
already stopped.
Oh, okay.
I stopped it at the Bears.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Alright.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 164 of Thinking Outside the Long Box.
64, dude.
I'm wrong.
I don't know how you
That-
do 64.
I mean, I assume it's like
It's
You're
pretty
really
close
lazy.
it's like
69.
you're like licking
close.
each other's hips.
A toe.
Today is our pop culture classic. Where at the end of the last episode, we decided we were going to talk about 3 different pop culture classics:
Oh, is that a real thing?
Galga, Gallagher, and
definitely
Gattaca. So
Here's the thing. I was actually really excited to try and watch this movie because it looked really cool.
yeah.
I showed Alicia the trailer this morning.
It's
She's like,
fantastic.
"This looks awful."
Oh no, it's okay. So I know you think all of Doyle's picks are very boring.
No, it's just they're movies that I've seen 100 times, and they're the kind of movies where I'm like, it is a good movie, and I will watch it if I'm watching it with somebody who hasn't seen it before, because it's fun to
And I
experience.
watched it alone and was enthralled.
Because you can kind of, because for me, I can kind of vicariously experience the movie for the first time again through a new person watching it. But I've fucking seen Gattaca a million goddamn times. I've played Galaga a million fucking times, and I've watched Gallagher maybe probably 6 times.
I don't know anything about Gallagher
Oh.
except for that he smashes shit.
Yeah,
You go live, you sit
really.
in the first 4 rows, they give you a rain jacket.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He
You
might
will
be
need it.
the greatest prop comic of all time.
We
So,
were
let's-
before.
Let's see what prop comic, I don't know why.
How could you
How-
not?
He's a
Of course he's a-
bukkake comic.
No, he.
He's
okay.
a fruit bukkake comic.
You know that's fairly accurate. But how could he not be a prop comic when
It's like
like
Carrot Top's like a prop comic.
he has a prop? It's a fucking giant hammer, and he
Carrot Top
smashes.
doesn't have props, does he?
Oh,
Yeah.
What
He has
the
like a-
fuck?
Are you
That's
fucking high?
That's all he does is props pretty much.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Carrot
And
Top.
steroids.
Carrot Top's the fucking worst, by the way.
I know.
All of
He'd
his-
probably kick my ass because he's ripped now, but I would try to beat him up if I saw him.
Fucking Carrot Top. All of his bits on Space Ghost Coast to Coast were so painful to
Oh
watch.
my god, he's the worst. He
Who
was
was that guy who used to work out who had the crazy hair? You know who I'm talking about.
Einstein.
The super gay guy who's not in shape, but he had all the workout videos.
Oh,
Richard Simmons.
yeah.
Richard Simmons.
I don't know why. I just thought like it'd be awesome to see Richard Simmons, Gallagher, and Carrot Top in a battle royale to the death.
You know Richard Simmons would win by unhinging his jaw and swallowing them whole like a boa constrictor.
Plus his RV and slightly overweight women would definitely help.
I don't know. I just see his.
All right, ladies,
Him.
go stomp it in the balls.
I
Did
see
he
like
die?
Game
No.
of Thrones Long Night.
He
It's,
came out and said he wasn't dead.
Gallagher with
Well,
his fucking sledge-o-matic.
Suspicious.
Well,
no, it's a weird.
they
fucking
said he was
thing.
dead. Somebody had announced it because he doesn't come out into public anymore.
Is he like the same kind of character?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit.
He like went into full hiding,
Yeah.
dude.
Put on pants and a shirt.
If you haven't seen the fucking Whose Line Is It Anyway with him in it, go watch it.
I've seen that.
So fucking
He's
funny.
fucking hilarious.
So
dude.
funny.
Whose line is it anyway?
It's just
Is
a
a
show.
show.
Oh, whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love that.
The
show.
episode with him in it is amazing.
So Juan got top score on Galga at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
He was very proud of it.
I
It
do
was
like
really
Galga.
cool.
I was too poor to play such things when I was little. So now I'm just an adult playing. I love to play fucking arcade games like
Did you
that.
put your initials in the top score?
I did, yes sir.
Did you put, Juan, whatever your middle name is?
I don't have a middle name.
Oh, so just JM.
Yeah. JMJ is usually what I do for the junior.
Oh, I didn't know you were a junior.
I'm my dad.
You
So is
actually
he the-
don't have a middle
he's
He's
name?
the third.
technically the third.
Mhm.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
He can
Parents
sign
didn't
his
love
name
you
with
enough
a
to give you
Roman
3
numeral
names?
and shit.
None of us have three. It's the weirdest thing. They got here and they're like, we're not Mexican, no middle names. And so I don't know what the fuck. That's not really what they said, but none of us have middle names.
In my head, I just imagine your grandfather because I've seen him.
You've never seen my grandfather.
His dad.
Or your dad.
Yeah.
His dad.
I've never seen my grandfather.
Just somebody, just
How you know them? I haven't seen 'em.
just
He's-
coming in like
He's in the future.
When will then be known?
Well,
When Manhattan
kicking it with your
decides.
granddaughter.
Right.
so Gallagher's pretty
I'm
cool.
getting a stand-up arcade for Christmas, I think. So.
Oh, one of
Street Fighter.
just a
I was
Street
gonna say,
Fighter
'cause
one.
there is
Well,
one with Gallagher.
It's the one-up arcade ones that they send us a lot of press releases now.
Yeah,
But it has 3 or 4 different Street Fighter games.
nice.
Go
Those
Because they're
marketing-
$250. They're cheap
Cheap.
as fuck right
Yeah.
now. When those like 1 in 5,000, the stand-up ones are like 1,000 or 1,500.
I do
Right.
want one
Like, I
of
don't want
those.
it.
I want one that just has like every old game on it. I know it's
just don't wanna pay
expensive,
for
but
it. Yeah.
There's one that you can get from like Micro Center that you have to build yourself, the cabinet, the board,
it's
everything.
small, dude.
Yeah.
It's not big.
It's not, but
A buddy of mine has it. It's like fucking
Yeah.
this big.
These one-up arcade
But
ones
it
are
is
small.
But it is one of the ones that has like fucking everything
It does,
on it because it's got like a cherry pie.
But I mean, I want that
so you can just
giant-
put whatever you want.
cabinet, you know.
Well,
like,
my brother there's a guy, it's a team, and the American guy is here he sends you the actual cabinet and he builds it for you.
Yeah.
And then the other guy is from like India or some bullshit. He does
Of
all the
course.
software stuff. And so anytime, it's like $2,000. Anytime you have a problem with it, you call him up and he just jumps on it and fucking fixes it. And you're all good for the life of the arcade.
The rest of the
That's
time, he's just watching you beat up.
How fucked up would you be if you got the top score and then it said thank you for playing rabbits?
See, I haven't listened to Rabbits, so I don't get that.
Rabbits never caught my attention either.
Oh, I like
Now
it.
nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, I liked it. Anyway, back to
This
Gallagher
episode's
and
gonna be
Gallagher.
Gattaca
Gattaca,
And
So-
Gallagher. And rabbits.
and Galga.
Yes.
And Galactus.
No, let's not have it. Three's enough.
We
Gattaca.
don't need
What
a
is
Celestial
Gattaca though?
up in here.
So Gattaca is effectively a science fiction film noir. Okay?
1997.
It is about a world where when you're born, they can test your DNA and they can tell you with like a high level of certainty, like when you'll die and what you'll die from. And so people that were born,
As well as everything else about you. All your
Yeah.
genetics.
people who were born like via the natural process of birth run the risk of, having heart disease when they're like 50 or like, having bad vision and things like that. So there becomes a market where people, where people perfect their children in utero before they're born so they have the best shot at life. And people that were born kind of before that technology existed, because they know how bad off they are, but they never had the opportunity to be perfected before they were born, there's like this divide, like culturally and class-wise. They call them degenerates. like because their genes are
Or borrowed
lesser.
ladders.
Or
Yeah.
what's that?
Borrowed ladders.
Yeah. So it's this idea that
Well, that's only if they're trying to steal.
they're trying to steal somebody's identity. So the idea is that there's a guy who's very smart and he wants to be basically in space. Like he wants to be
An
with the
astronaut.
he wants to be an astronaut, but his genes are inferior. His brother was born after him and has had his genes modified, and so he is like a superior specimen. And so they have this kind of like conflict with each other.
Think of Rocky IV.
they have kind of this conflict with each other, but then the guy who's the inferior brother ends up effectively backdooring his way into this company called Gattaca by stealing somebody's identity down to like the DNA level, and they have to work together because he gets blood tested every day, he gets piss tested every day, he has to like scrub down all his skin to make sure he has like as little skin follicles falling off, and then he takes that guy's skin and shapes it into his computer and stuff like that, so that
It's definitely a little creepy. That way.
everything he leaves behind is this other dude's DNA, and he basically has to pretend to be someone else all the time. And
Why would what are they afforded more things?
yeah, like he
Yeah.
talks about how they literally won't hire you if your genetic testing isn't good enough, so he can't move forward. He
I mean,
can't
just think
get
of
into
like
school.
80% of the population is predisposition from birth to be as smart as they can be, as physically fit as they can be, and then you come along because your parents fucked in the back of a car, and you're the janitor. Like
Yeah.
it says in the movie, like it's illegal in their society, but they just get around it by DNA tests. And
What they
drug
literally
tests.
say is, you have to take a mandatory drug test, and then they test your DNA too, and they see, oh well, they call them faith babies or God babies, because it's people that they just had sex instead of like making sure that their child was genetically the way they were supposed to be. So
The movie comes off super real to me,
yeah,
like something that could really happen.
I think
I feel like it might be happening somewhere.
the thing
Well,
that,
there are people looking into, I don't think that we technically allow gene modification at this point. But there are people who that's their whole job is to map out the genome and figure out what the fuck's going on.
And they can test They can test it on an unborn child.
And
tell
they
you
told us.
it's going to have downs. It's
No,
gonna
yeah,
have
for
this,
sure,
it's
100%.
gonna have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it. Yeah, we did it for sure on both kids.
Son of a bitch. I'm sure.
Well, it
I'm
was
joking.
for us. It was to be informed. We were never going to abort either one of the kids, but then you could prepare.
Yeah.
You
Right.
could prepare your future for a kid who has special needs.
yeah, get everything in line before
Right.
they're even born, so that
I'll
you know
probably
what
do
you're
it
doing.
just because of all the bad karma I've got stacked up. Something's going to be wrong with my firstborn child.
Oh, don't put that out there, man. Your kid will be
What do you
fine.
need?
I hope so. I hope by putting it out there, everything.
I don't
will
know.
be fine.
We forgot we didn't have paper towels.
So
This is the one podcast.
Barbecue sauce.
I can't wait for him to find that shit in there.
Right?
For
What'd you do?
sure. Nothing. Definitely didn't violate a bunch of copyrights.
Yeah, we totally continued the story in a progressive and meaningful way. It's like a tongue tied a little bit from
I'm loving it.
Gallica. That's so hard to say.
It is really hard to say.
I gotta like catch my breath after.
Gallagher played Gattaca, or Gallagher while watching Gattaca.
What do you think the odds of that happening are?
It's probably happened.
And the
No,
infinite multiverse is happening right now.
Alright, Dr. Manhattan, calm the fuck down.
I'm gonna be riding that high.
I'm gonna open Tim's present while Juan is shitting.
Is that what he's doing?
I assume so. It's alien paraphernalia, so I will like it.
Put up on that, man. Let him hear it. Let him hear it.
Quality favorite.
That's ASMR.
Oh god, yeah. That's
Isn't
giving
that how that works?
This is giving
It's
some.
from Loot Crates. I kind of feel like it's just a hand-me-down. That's all right.
This is gonna make somebody's hairs on their neck stand up. You ready?
That one kind of did that to me.
That was so good for somebody. Just I hope Juan doesn't cut that out.
Thanks, man. This is actually pretty cool.
Welcome, buddy.
It is an alien walking his, well, I guess technically his father, and peeing on a hydrogen.
Watching you do that on camera is pretty funny, by the way.
His
Somebody just carrying
father.
paper.
Yeah. Oh, I am fucking smashing his internet by watching 2 live streams at once.
Thanks again for dinner. It was very good. Super full now.
Probably gonna have to stop halfway home to take a shit because that's what chili does to me. But it was delicious.
It is. I'm currently still eating it.
It's still delicious for Gabe.
It's delicious
No.
for everyone.
If Petrie doesn't
Yeah.
eat this, it will stay with me for a while. There are no guarantees.
I fucking love that.
That is awesome. I love that he's on a phone.
She. She's on her phone.
I don't think it's a queen.
I mean,
Or are they all women?
I thought they were all women.
I don't know. It's very possible. Can't think of it.
Where's the active camera? Which one is
I'll
it?
stop one.
This one?
You have a xenomorph walking a, what the fuck is it called?
A face hugger.
Yeah, face hugger, but it has a real name, doesn't it?
Face hugger.
Again, I'm just gonna go with walking its dead. It's dead peeing on the.
Do you think it pisses acid?
Of course it pisses acid.
Whatever it pisses, it's not pleasant. Whatever it was. Yeah,
Did Juan really go take a shit?
I think so. He said he was gonna go while we talked about it. And seeing how it's been more than 2 minutes, I don't think he's peeing.
What were we talking about?
Galaga, Gattaca, and Gallagher.
Oh, I thought he was part of that conversation.
He has never seen Gattaca, so we explained it to him.
All right, well, let's talk about
Now
it.
he's masturbating.
So I love this movie. I
I
think it's
do.
really, really good.
You need more than 3 shakes and you're playing with yourself.
It's
The movie
really
is good, and the only reason I fell asleep to it this time was because I have actually seen it a million times before.
right.
After watching it again, I realized
bored me to death.
I don't know how big my top list is, but it's up there.
Man, it's just it's
good.
It's well written. It's very interesting. It was super, super engaging.
It's
Like,
well acted.
yeah,
It holds the tension,
like
even though there's not really tension.
there is though, because like the whole movie, you're like thinking about what the fuck happens if he gets caught,
Yeah, that's true.
and then he
Yeah.
just
I guess I
never-
am watching it from the perspective of seeing it like 40 times.
right, but then he just never fucking gets caught, and
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's like it's almost like a heist film where the criminal gets away with it. You know,
Yeah.
like it's
Definitely feels like
really
that.
kind of a cool thing that they've done.
There's one shitty part, and it's not even shitty in the movie. Like I like the movie still. I like the way they do it. It's just shitty emotionally. Every time I watch the movie, there's a point in the movie in which I think the brother, who becomes the detective, the genetically superior brother, he does figure out that his younger brother is there somewhere. There's a point in the movie where I always feel like he wants to find his little brother to make amends, like for being a dick his whole life. But then when he finds him, he's still a dick.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Like you can tell he's conflicted, and
Yeah.
like when the fact that there's not really a resolution to like their conflict, even after he beats him in the second swimming thing, it just kind of goes nowhere. It just disappears. The idea disappears, and like he's defeated his genetically superior brother.
He
but-
does let him go though.
Yeah, but there's no like real resolution to it.
True.
You know, nobody says I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He just goes into space.
Kinda like
The
how
thing
that
with the doctor.
beat you.
The doctor scene is awesome. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah, where he's just like he's always known and he wants him to succeed. Like I think that's a really cool idea.
Not only has he always known, I don't know if the other guy's always known. There's a scene in the movie where he's going to throw away his cup and his old boss, who is the old janitor, takes the cup from him. I kind of feel like the old boss knew too.
Right.
Like,
It's cool. Like it's a fucking great movie. Gallagher, though,
Great comedian.
no,
No?
not funny. Just smashes stuff.
I thought it was funny.
Oh, dude, it's just fucking stupid dad jokes and him busting watermelons with a mallet.
Problem? Where's the problem?
It's not funny. That's the problem with it. It was funny when I was in like. I do hate things. I am filled with rage about a lot of
But
stuff.
think about how much fun it would be to have a sledge-o-matic and smash things.
I mean, yeah, but I also don't want fruit to spray all over my body.
Where we go?
Cocky coat.
I,
Fruit cocky.
fruit cocky.
I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, fruit cocktail. Fruit cocktail. Mix it with a little bit of cream. You know what
If I ever,
Oh, come on.
if I ever open a bar, that's going to be a drink on the menu.
The fruit
The
cocky.
fruit cocky.
it's punch. It's like alcoholic punch.
Yeah, it'll be like a fruit smoothie with fucking vodka
You're
or
joking.
something.
Yeah, fruit cocky.
Fruit cocky.
It's all the fruit just spraying all over the place.
Just cocky it about. You know?
Or not vodka, sake. Something to keep it Japanese.
Oh yeah, there you go.
It'd be sweet if you just made this elegant mixed fruit drink and just throw it in their face. Would you like another sip?
It takes you like 15 minutes to make it.
Would you like the face, neck, and chest edition?
You opened it already?
Yeah, well, you were shitting, so.
And Juan took a shit, everybody.
Now Juan can open his.
Did everything come out okay, Juan?
Probably also alien themed. If it's another reject from another crew.
I'll tell you how I ended up with all these eventually.
He's a postal worker.
It's pretty legit.
They fell off the truck.
He has a phone.
That's cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Facehuggers pissing. Oh, it's a little alien petri.
Oh, is that what I'm doing right now?
I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh,
Juan's a ho.
drink.
Oh, show.
Okay, what does the back say? Artist series, limited edition. Ha, that's cool. Oh, fuck, I don't know where the camera is.
It's this one.
Evil Dead 2.
That's really
Get some. Loot crate.
I just feel like a lot of people aren't getting their loot crates last couple of weeks.
If you're missing this,
Don't look for Tim.
Yeah, it wasn't off on my route, that's for sure. So I work with
I was like, is that how you got it, really?
No. I mean, actually, yes, I did get it from work, but it came from a coworker, not from a customer.
Seems like it's fell out of a truck.
Like,
You're bouncing on my truck.
bounced off the back of the truck into my truck, and I don't know where to put it, so I just took it off.
So I bounced it into your lap.
If I bounce it right on there.
Like the magic lettuce in Watchmen?
Yes, like the magic lettuce and Watchmen.
So are we done, or what? What's going on?
I
Gattaca?
mean, I think
Could
we
be.
Yeah.
Gallagher's good. Gallagher's good.
Thumbs down.
Gallagher is like 3 out of 4 for the table here. Doesn't seem
You should
like
watch it
Dave
at
likes
some point. It's a great movie.
I literally did try to watch it this morning. It wasn't happening.
No, I feel you. All of my legal sources for watching it were also down.
That's weird. I feel like it was just on Amazon Prime where to watch it.
Well, yeah, I mean, all
Yeah,
of my,
that's totally where
all of
we
my
watched
other
it.
totally legal sources though were just not working.
Yeah.
That's where we watched it.
It's just like, what the fuck?
I probably own the movie somewhere.
Also,
It is not.
You are a super fan.
You would have had to have rented it on Amazon Prime. And I had
I
to
didn't
go.
rent it at all, so
I-
I must just own it.
You must
on
own
Prime
that.
then.
Yeah, I had to turn to one of my other totally legal sources to watch it.
it was a totally legal source. We watched it on YouTube,
Yeah, we
but
watched
somebody
it on
else did a totally legal way of putting it up.
Yeah.
Hey, the way they did it is not on you.
No,
No.
Yeah.
I
You just are watching it
I'm
on
just
YouTube.
watching it.
I'm just consuming content. I can't help that it was.
I can't help that I'm a content consumer.
Doesn't work with child pornography. I don't believe
But YouTube is a legit company.
not what we did at all and ever plan to do.
Yeah.
So Brad Booty Betty, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
That's gross.
Wow, Doyle.
That's made it up. 3 beats.
Well,
That probably exists though if you. Hopefully
so
it's
I'm
not
gonna
child
go
pornography.
thumbs
Stop.
three quarters of the way up for Gallagher, Gattaca, and Galga.
I like Gallagher. I give
Gallagher's
Gallagher a
Let's give it a
straight
thumbs
thumbs up.
Thumbs up for Gallagher.
All right, thumbs up for Gallagher.
Thumbs up for Gattaca.
Thumbs down for Gallagher.
And for me, it's going to be a thumbs up for Gallagher.
Okay, so I'll give it a thumbs up for Gattaca, a thumbs up for Gattaca, and then a thumbs like 3/4 of the way down for Gallagher.
So the rating system is already highly convoluted, but because of how this episode evolved, the episode is now highly convoluted.
I would
Let's see how
not support Gallagher even if it meant him dying.
oh, what? Gallagher's on life support. Doyle's like sledge-o-matic bitch.
Can I
Fucking
unplug
weird.
him? Yeah.
Fruit cocky.
I award him.
Wearing his rain
points.
poncho.
I feel like so many people have made a living doing stuff they shouldn't have been able to make a living at after him that it's his fault. And Gallagher's amazing for the time. It's still fun.
Very fun game.
It's
Still.
hard. It's a hard game.
It is.
Well, all old games, they didn't used to care if you could beat games.
I just wanted you to keep pumping quarters into machines.
I know this to be true.
Yeah, true story.
And then, yeah, Gattaca, like I said, I don't actually know what my top movies are, but it's in there.
Wow.
It's floating around in there.
The
Maybe
ca-
top 20, top 10.
The cast had me excited.
It's
And
amazing.
that's really why I wanted to watch
You
it.
should definitely watch it. I think you'll
The
really like it.
acting, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
The story is super fascinating. Like, it's just a good movie.
That guy that plays
They go
the
into
main
space in
character,
suits.
he needs to be in more stuff because he is a phenomenal actor.
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of things.
That's why I
but
said
like-
the cast got me excited.
I mean, he is in a ton of shit, but he's not doing anything now. Like, I want to keep seeing him.
Sure he is.
He is. Is he?
Meth, crack, cocaine.
So he's just doing Hollywood.
I was like, man, huh? What show is that?
You see this here? Adult collectible.
Marijuana.
So I guess you could shove. That means you could shove it up your butt if you wanted to.
You're gonna loop it?
Spikes.
Like, I know I've seen Ethan Hawke in a movie like really recently.
He was in Valerian and the City of the Thousand Planets.
What the fuck was he in that?
Mm,
Oof, man, yeah.
Because that was a movie Gabe and I watched not long ago.
Not long ago, we watched that like
a year ago.
In 2018, he was in Juliet Naked. He was in Blaze,
I don't know what that one is.
Stockholm,
What that is?
The Kid, with Vincent D'Onofrio.
Those are all old movies, though.
No, that came out in 2018.
Oh, really?
2019.
I feel like the kid came out in 2012.
Fuck, I just had it.
Fuck. Bullshit. Dead Space Podcasting, where everybody's looking ass.
So in 2018, he was in Juliet Naked, Blaze in Stockholm. In 2019, he was in The Kid, Adopt a Highway, The Truth. And in 2020, he'll be in Tesla and Cutthroat City.
He's also in The Purge,
Which Purge?
the original,
The Racist Purge?
or the show. He's in The Purge show.
Yeah.
Ooh, I watched some
Which
of
came
that.
out in this year. So he's actually pretty prolific. Who the fuck said he wasn't?
I did. Because I fucking haven't seen him in anything.
He's just in a lot. It looks like he's in a lot of independent movies.
The TV show The Purge is like, at
He was
first
in that
you're like,
remake of
yeah, it'll be like 6 episodes, but like it's still
Yeah, he is.
purging.
Yeah, he's like the sharpshooter or whatever.
We are.
Right. There's so much purge
Okay.
going on.
So that's
The
probably the
TV
last
show, I thought
time
it was going to be like a lead up and like aftermath. No, it's just like 2 hours before the purge and then a season of purging. And it's one night of purge. So you see lots of fuckers get purged.
You said Purge a lot
Yeah.
right there.
Alright.
Have you given your ratings?
I didn't watch Gattaca, so I can't give it a rating. Gallagher, I gave a thumbs down. Gallagher, I gave a thumbs up.
Gallagher did
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Pick that. It was you. You just
Yeah,
started
you
this.
started that.
Yeah, because I like the way it flows.
So with that said, fuck Gallagher.
Yeah.
This has been episode 164 of Thinking Outside the I know. I'm thinking outside the long box. I've been Gabe.
I'm Tim.
I'm
Come
going
on.
Next
Let's-
episode,
Oh,
we
be
purge
sure-
Gallagher.
Be sure to find us. Be sure to find us at www.totlb.com and go to totlb.com/product/2020-boudoir-calendar to get our new boudoir calendar for the 2020
It's
season.
$15.50. Come on, guys.
It's worth it.
Come
It's
on.
awesome.
For the price of 3 to 4 trips to Starbucks,
I-
you too can have a boudoir
For
calendar.
the price of 2 trips to Starbucks.
I don't go to Starbucks.
Yeah, I know.
expensive.
Yeah, I don't go to Starbucks.
I saw a fucking calendar of dogs pooping. That was $25.
So-
Come on.
The
Yeah.
calendars are more expensive than we thought.
They are.
They are. The price
keeping track of days so crazy.
so expensive.
We all got in the phones we want to put on the walls.
Let's get the fuck
Should we
out
have a
of here.
digital version? We don't know how to do that.
I don't know
See
how
you in
to
a
do
couple
that.
days
Yeah.
when
If
we
we
talk to
figure it out, you'll get a free digital version, but we probably won't.
Bye,
see, you in a couple,
everybody.
see you in a couple days when we are back to talk about
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
I told you to watch it. I don't think you fucking did.
I
either.
watched the first one.
I
You watched it
all
because I
three.
woke up to it.
Yeah, I watched the first one.
And now I
See you
can
guys
cry.
later.
See you in a couple days. Bye.
I don't know, I try to breathe in while breathing out through my nose. It's complicated.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I couldn't either. That's why I made a weird noise.
Seems really difficult.
Oh, we jumping right in?
Yeah, might as well.
Get down.
65, dude.
Is it 65?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm bad at that.
Or Superman meets Superman meets Superman. Game is not introing this episode.
Crisis on Infinite Likes. And we're out.
I love
That was a
that.
good
That
intro.
was a really good intro. Hey everybody, welcome to episode 165 of Thinking Outside the Long Box. I'm Gabe on Earth 66.
I'm Tim on this table. I'm the only Tim.
No, that's
No,
not true.
that's not true.
Yes, technically there's multiple tips.
Nah, fuck that. I'm the only one.
There's a lot of Tims.
I'm like
There
Jet
is a
Li
lot
in
of
one.
Tims.
I murdered all the other Tims.
No, you would have been one of the murdered Tims.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
That movie was good when I thought it was good when it came out. Awful.
It's not good.
It's not
Yeah,
good.
it's not good.
It's not good.
I dragged like 6 people to that movie and they all hate it.
Well, I believe I was one of
Oh,
those.
could've
people.
been.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm going
I'm one.
Oh, you gotta say what Earth you're from, though.
Oh, let me see.
Well, I'm from 666.
Ooh.
I'll be from Antimatter Earth.
Antimatter Earth. Sweet.
No, Gabe's just from 66.
Yeah, that's normal Earth.
60.
That's our Earth.
No, Earth 1 is Earth Prime.
No, but that's Prime DC universe. Our Earth is Earth 66.
69, dude. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
Our Earth is Earth 66. Like where we live, you and I, real Juan and Gabe, live on Earth 66.
Gotcha.
The only superhero that really lives here is Superboy Prime.
Correct.
But technically, he's just a normal figure.
Fucking son.
Legitimately badass outside of here, though.
So, if you haven't figured it out, we are going to be talking about the first 3 episodes of Crisis on Infinite Earth, and by that, I'm going to be talking about.
Fucked it up.
I love it!
We'll be talking about, for me, the first episode of Crisis on
Well, yeah,
Infinite Earth, because I only got through one of them. 'Cause I know. I had to download a new app. I had to download the CW app on my Fire Stick just
He
to watch
spent
it.
seconds downloading an app.
No, it took me.
Through the webs.
It took me a little bit to figure out how to
Should've
how to
just come
watch
over.
Do
it.
you
One
know
day.
how little
I
effort
recorded
it
all
took
3 of
him?
them.
It was exhausting.
I'm just saying I had to figure it out. That's all.
I'm just saying you could have just come on.
Cost me
I have all 3 of them on my face. I just T-voted it.
If you would have just downloaded the CW app, you could watch it for free.
True.
They make you pay for it?
He's buying it on Amazon.
I always buy the crossovers because I like them. This one, we'll get going.
Well, go ahead.
You're the advocate. You love
Well,
this.
I
Let's
do.
hear.
I agree with what you're saying, because it's what your premise is that it's confusing and we don't really know where the fuck it's all going. I think is what you're saying.
It was confusing 3 minutes in.
Okay.
There's like no, in the other crossovers, there was build up inside of the event.
No, you're right.
In this one, there's like, here's the monitor, and if you don't know DC Comics at all, that's fucking weird.
Well,
Yeah.
it's because there's a reason for that.
I know, he's a
Because he's in all of them. Because this is such a this crossover was so big, they started it at the beginning of everything. So he comes in and out of the Flash. He is predominantly in every episode of Arrow because essentially Arrow is doing his bidding this whole season. So, but it's been like that because this is Arrow's last season, and so they've been building to this moment. The whole all 5 of these Legends hadn't started until the crossover.
Seems
So,
like they're turning him into
Supergirl-
Spectre.
Yes, they are.
Because I read these comics.
Well, it happened. Jim Corrigan came and he gave him
He took him away.
his powers.
You couldn't tell. Yeah,
Well, he hit Arrow's eyes turned green.
the truth. There could be a few. It could be
No,
Green
but-
Lantern.
Well, John Diggle's supposed to be Green Lantern.
I know. He's
A
black.
lot of weird shit going on. So is Jon Stewart.
So.
Yeah, but he's not Diggle. You think they'll tell the Mosaic storyline? Probably not. It's terrible in comics.
All right, there he lost me. I had him until that part. No, but this is Arrow's last season, and so I think there was just less of a we're building up only in these 5 episodes, and more of this needs to be a little bit bigger.
Should we drop the spoiler warning real quick before we continue this conversation?
Probably. It's already happened, but yeah.
Okay.
We
Spoiler.
spoiled it a bit.
Yeah, we spoiled it a little bit. Sorry,
We're gonna
guys.
spoil it some more.
It comes back January 14th, I think.
4th.
4th?
I just felt like all the other crossover events, if you weren't in them, you could jump in them and like
I agree.
know what's going on.
And it's the
this,
truth.
it's
It
just
is.
like everything felt super. Even though what you say it makes it worse to me, honestly, because if they've been building up for it for entire seasons, it was still rushed to shit in the first episode, in my opinion. And the second episode felt that way. The third episode felt pretty strong to me, where the story was slowing down, a little more evened out. The first episode's like, here's the monitor, fucking Earths are exploding, let's get them all out of here.
Well, it's because
Like-
they've been talking about it for 7 episodes now.
Probably should have
In
spread it out
The
over 7
Flash,
episodes.
in the Green Arrow, and Supergirl, like that's what I'm saying.
It's a twin to
I know
Supergirl
what you're
wear
saying
pants.
because you don't in the other 2 crossovers you
Oh,
don't
fuck.
go into the crossover until you're there,
Mhm.
and then they tell the story. But this one has been told through 4 different shows going on all at the same time already.
That's really hard to follow, in my opinion. But
Well,
I
but
don't
it's,
watch it.
it's ma- that's what I was saying. It's made for the people who are watching every week.
So it seems like a huge commitment because I'm kind of on the same
Yeah.
boat as him, where I haven't been keeping up with them. Like I think I've only seen the first season of Supergirl. I've seen like probably 4 or 5 seasons of Arrow, but I haven't watched it for a few seasons. Same with Flash. Same with Legends of Tomorrow, and then Batwoman. I don't think I've seen a single episode of. Right.
nobody else.
So this one, oh, is that true?
I don't follow
It's just
any of
getting
this shit.
terrible ratings.
It's getting
Oh.
bad ratings, but some of that is because before it even came out, people were shitting on it
Right.
about its
Including the actors.
lesbians and
Yeah.
all that shit.
Even though that's like directly out of the comic book.
Yeah.
I think
But-
a bit of what her going on TV and going, this isn't for people who like comic books. This is for a different audience. I was like, you can't always say that about fucking comic book TV show. You threw a lot of people who might have watched that show under the bus immediately.
Yeah. I don't know, but it feels like you got dropped into something kind of confusing.
Well, for me, because I watch every week, the last crossover led into these seasons and this crossover.
Right.
Because at the end of the last crossover, the Monitor comes and he gives Oliver a way to save Kara and Barry,
Right.
and then he says, "But you owe me, and I'm fucking coming." And so at the end of all of those seasons, he appears at the end of Arrow and says it's time. After Arrow has a baby girl and she's just a baby, and he takes him away from his family. And so this season of the Arrow is all the Monitor and Oliver Queen, all of it. It's Oliver doing things for the Monitor
Side
to
note,
prepare for the crisis.
Monitor looks silly.
That he looks exactly like he does in the comic book.
Yeah, you
Which
don't
is
have
silly.
to do that. In comic books, certain things work out. Wolverine, bright yellow, sharky suit, looks kind of cool. Movie, it's terrible.
Looks really dumb.
Yeah.
I thought it looked okay except for the hair.
Dude,
the hair is the
side-
one part.
It's so
It's
bad.
the weird sideburns. He does look funky.
The Anti-Monitor looks alright.
I laughed. When I saw him, I laughed.
Me too, he's comically colorful. Like, I'm just like, he's like, I'm the Monitor. I'm like, did you use a door? Like, for the epicness of your character, you very nonchalantly chalanted your way into this problem. It's like you walked out of the toilet. What's up, guys? I'm the Monitor. Sorry about that.
It is
Oh,
harder.
Suggest nobody go in there for 20 to 30 minutes.
It is harder because it's been building for like a year.
Right.
And so it's, but I wanted to talk about it because it's on, as far as TV shows go, this is really, really big
It
because
is
they
really
have
big.
been building it for so long, and it's spread over Batwoman, The Flash, Green Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and then
And Supergirl.
fucking all kinds of and Supergirl, but then all of these other crazy continuities, and there was so I'm looking at a page of 42 that I wanted to go through really quick, but there's all kinds of crazy cameos and guest spots and all kind. It's just
Well,
such a
within the
massive
first
thing.
Within the first like 2 or 3
That's cool. I agree
minutes.
with you.
Within the first 2 or 3 minutes of that first episode, like Will Wheaton was in it, and Burt Ward, who played Robin, was in it. Like all of that was really cool to
It
me.
continues, and that is a cool part of it. My thing is like, if you took so long to build up to this, why throw it out in 5 episodes? Why not just run it out throughout the entirety of the seasons?
Yeah.
Because it just feels rushed. Like all of
Because
the Earth's dying, and so from the start of the crisis to there being one Earth is 2 episodes. That's crazy fast. Like,
Well, 3 episodes.
I think by the second episode they're down to 1 Earth, aren't they? I thought the third episode they were already down
I think
to 1 Earth.
they're at 2 or 3.
Which
You
I
may
mean,
be
like they
right.
just
You
kill
might
it
be right. You might
fast.
be right.
Like,
But I think it's because they don't expect people to do what we're doing and jump into the crossover. I think they expect people to be watching.
well, I
And
understand
so
that, but
it's
to me,
not-
if they expect
To
that,
me, it wasn't rushed because I've watched everything.
but you can admit that like the crisis portion is rushed. Like, I don't care if it's been building for its whole season. Like, they
I
could have
was-
just played that out over 10 episodes of 4 different
Well,
shows.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Which would have made sense. Even Barry, like Green, it doesn't seem like the characters can keep up with each other. Like Green Arrow's like, where the fuck were you? And he was like, I was doing a thing. Like that literally happened in the
It's because
show.
the monitor's sending him to different places, and he's
get
not
it.
telling anybody.
It just feels weird.
It is fast. But to me, when I knew that it was going to be only 5 episodes, I knew we were going to get right into fucking destroying everything, and then the
Yeah, you're gonna
last 2 or 3 I thought would be like,
push everything
what
down
the
to
fuck's
one
going
Earth.
on? Yeah.
Luthor's gaying it up like he does.
What?
Luthor
Oh, Luthor.
killed technically every Superman.
Yeah, he did kill every Superman.
Nice.
When did Supergirl start wearing pants?
Last season.
It looks silly.
That was the last. It debuted last season.
I don't
love that
mind
there's
her
a
being
joke
in a
about it.
full suit, but it looks silly.
I love that there was a joke about it in the show too.
Was there? I
Oh,
missed it.
Kara, and she's wearing pants.
Yeah.
Like,
He literally said what you said.
Yeah. I don't think
Is that a
it was
thing?
dumb.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a thing early
I'm sure-
on in the comic.
I'm
book.
sure Supergirl has had a suit where she wore pants. I don't know that much about Supergirl, but I'm sure it's happened.
But she mostly wears that little mini
I
skirt.
almost. Oh yeah, that's right.
The
I
skirt
forgot
is
she
not-
didn't wear
I
underwear.
just feel like they could have been different pants. Or, I don't know. The pants just seem weird. It's too blue, man. It's
I,
too blue.
I didn't even think about it because
I don't think
give
she
a shit
has.
about any of the
I don't think
Super
she has red underwear, which is what makes it look weird. Because Superman looks really weird too when he's all blue, without the redness, the red spots.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
I don't like it.
I agree with you. Maybe she doesn't have. It's weird that we're talking about her underwear, but maybe.
But
she
their
doesn't have
outerwear,
red.
technically.
Yeah.
They're not like underwear, but
I just couldn't picture it while I was like, she's walking around like, she looks not good.
I don't know.
She's not super.
I think she's fucking looks great.
She's hot. Yeah. You can see her naked in another TV show.
Wow. So the first Earth to die is Earth 89. That is the what the movies. Fuck, what movie is this? The Tim Burton 89, Batman 89. Which is why it's called Earth 89. Apparently.
Oh.
That guy who's reading the headline, I guess, has only been in one other scene, and so they brought him back for this one. That's the first Earth to go. Gotham dies. Alexander Knox. That's the next one. It doesn't say what Earth that is. Earth X is next. No. The Titans is next, which was the first, like, pretty cool cameo. Because I didn't know the other 2 people. I
Right.
had to look and see what the fuck's so special about those 2 Earths. But there it was. I was like, oh shit, because I don't know Hawk. I don't watch Titans, so I didn't.
Titans is good.
Is it really good?
Titans, yeah.
I've heard weird things, but if I'll have to watch it.
It's very like, it got a bad rap because of the fuck Batman, or from the like preview,
Right.
which was really like, whoa, teenage angst. But the
Makes
show
sense,
actually
yeah.
got really good.
But you see him, and then you see Robin kind of doing a squint thing. I was like, oh fuck, Titans. and then they're gone.
And they die.
Oh my
And then Earth X dies with the Ray, and that was from 2 crossovers ago. No, it was the last crossover. Earth X was the Nazi world. That was the last. Yeah, because the first crossover was the alien one. And then Burt Ward dies.
Yeah, so
That's Earth 66.
What,
That's us.
what made me sad about that was that if, what's his name now? Batman. Not his fake name, his real name. Batman
Wayne?
66. No, his real name. The
Oh,
actor's
Adam
name.
West.
Adam West.
Oh, yeah.
If Adam West had been alive, that would have been a really cool
He would
cameo.
and he would have absolutely
Yeah.
done
He
it.
would have loved to
Yeah,
go see
he
it.
loved
did
doing
love
shit like that.
And then Will Wheaton dies.
Yes.
Almost.
I wish he would.
I like Will Wheaton.
Too.
I did. He just won't stop rubbing over everything.
He won't what?
In everything, always. Weed. He's like a cockroach.
She's the super nerd. You can't help it.
They're better super nerds.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick.
Kevin Smith.
None of them are on the Enterprise, though.
So the big death of this episode is the Green Arrow, which I knew it was coming. I didn't know it was going to happen in the first hour.
Did he die in the first one?
Yes.
Yes, because I
Because
just
he
watched
died
it.
saving everybody's. So he
That
said,
too was so anticlimactic.
I thought it
I'm
was.
kicking
I thought it
demons
was
somehow.
sad.
No.
I thought it was sad. I didn't
So I
think it
think
was
part of-
anticlimactic.
So I think part of it is like I haven't watched an episode of Arrow for such a long time that I'm just not that attached to the characters anymore.
I never liked Green Arrow, so
Yeah,
even if I
so,
had
like,
watched it, I
So
wouldn't
when
care.
he was dying, I was just like, oh, that sucks. Like, but it wasn't like because you're so invested in it, because you're watching
But it
every episode, it really built up for you. And for me, I was just like, I guess that makes sense, you know.
But
can
it
see
was,
what
for
you
me,
mean
it
to
wasn't the death necessarily as much as the speeches that come afterward. We saved an extra billion people. He did the math. The monitor did the math of how many people were saved.
Again,
And-
so I see it from exactly what Gabe's saying. From my perspective, the monitor just comes off cheesy. Everything he says is cheesy.
He does come up.
So, like, where the fuck did all these demons come from, and why are they attacking this building, and why can we just kick them and punch them if they're demons?
Well, the
Like-
why I don't know. He explains that they're
Scott
attacking the
Ashcroft
tower.
there, nobody will get that reference.
He explains why they're there because they're attacking the tower
They're
that
the
is saving. Yeah,
Anti-Monitor's army.
yeah.
Okay.
He does explain why normal people can
Yeah.
kill them. I have not the
Or
slightest idea.
punch them.
And why the Atom can rig up Batwoman's like boomerangs all of a sudden in the middle of battle and they kill demons.
Well,
I
at
don't
least
know.
he's like a technological person. The whole like, I'm going to run at them and somehow save a billion people. He's at the end. He's just Arrow still. If he ran at
Well,
like 10,000 demons, it would do nothing.
I don't think it was I don't think that the fact that he was killing them because he was out of arrows at that point.
He was
I
stopping
think it
them.
was just the time. It was the time that they were dedicated to trying to kill him. Is
Couldn't they just
they're
fly-
getting people off of
Couldn't they
Earth.
just fly past?
No, they're
See,
killing. What do
So
you
that's the thing that bugged me about this. If it's this massive army, and they're devoting 100% of their resources to like these 5 people on top of this tower, just go kill the people that are trying to get away. Like, it didn't make any kind of sense.
Right.
Like,
Imagine like one guy standing here and a full army line, and then they're all just bottlenecking themselves for no reason into the one
into the
guy.
one guy. That's what it felt
I don't
like.
think they were trying to kill the. That's the thing is I don't think they were trying to kill the people. I think their plan was to
Destroy the tower.
thing,
But
and these people were protecting the thing.
right, but there's one person standing on top of the thing. Just go in through the basement door. You know,
Right.
like,
It's
kung fu
weird.
logic. You've got 100 people standing around to kick one guy's ass.
yeah.
And they didn't show it.
Show it.
Show him dying.
Fighting them.
Maybe he did something awesome we don't know about. Some weird technology he had.
Come
I don't
on,
know.
Marge, that little guy's about to do something.
I feel like even in the show they were like, how do you stop? How do you stop him? We don't know. That's cutscene.
it was good.
He's running at him screaming, and now he's dying.
No, no, it was what I saw of it was cool, and I'm probably gonna go watch the other 2 episodes pretty quick.
I'm invested. I'm gonna watch the other 2 still
Yeah.
when they come out.
Yeah, so Green Arrow dies in the first one.
Mhm.
A shit ton of Earths die. The main Earth they're trying to save is Earth 38, where Supergirl's from.
Right.
It ends up being obliterated. And so the Anti-Monitor says, the fight is over. We've got to get the fuck out of here. And he zaps everybody to Earth 1. And then that's where Arrow dies. And essentially his daughter becomes the next Green Arrow.
Right.
Because she's dead now.
Everybody's dead now. There's nobody alive except for the 7 Paragons. Yeah.
Of which Luthor is now.
And Spectre, I'm assuming, is
Spectre's a
still
spirit,
around. Yeah.
so he's already dead.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, I think Oliver's going to have a bigger role
Sure.
as the Spectre in the last 2 episodes.
I think so,
I
too.
think he'll be around.
But he'll just be dead.
Right. Was Jim Corrigan dead? Jim Corrigan was a real dude. He was just demonized, right?
I think
Or
so, yeah.
specterized, or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
I mean, he's dead.
The Spectre's dead, but but Jim Corrigan was a real dude,
I
right?
think Jim Corrigan's dead too.
Is he?
But he's only alive because the Spectre's inside of him.
I thought the Spectre went inside of the dude. Like
No,
if
that's Dead
Doyle's
Man.
here.
Yeah, Dead Man. does that.
Okay.
Dead Man's also very cool.
Mhm.
I don't know if he's in any of the CW shows.
I don't think so. To my
Needs to
knowledge.
be.
Yeah, that's a cool ass character too.
I did. Any Demon? Oh, that'd be a great show.
No, it wouldn't.
Demon.
You'd have to listen to him rhyme all the time.
I don't care. He's awesome.
Etrigan? Is that who?
Yeah.
What's the second episode? That's the Batwoman episode.
Batwoman. So
That's where they learn about the Paragons, right?
Yeah. Which is better than in my opinion, the first episode I thought was just like beat them to death, fucking Earths are dying. The second episode's like, slow down a bit. And the third episode's like, it's all about treadmill, baby. And then they all die anyway. But I liked them more in order. Like the third one's the best one in my opinion.
So the second one, you learn that there are 7 magical people. That I don't think they have magic. They're just chosen
Mhm.
to be the spirits of hope
Love,
and
hope.
yeah, think shit like that.
Their powers combined.
They're the lanterns,
Captain
basically.
Planet.
Except for they have no powers, unless you're powered.
Right.
Except for they're all superheroes, except for one Asian doctor.
That's the future Adam, bro.
I know, but he's not at the time.
And what happened? I can't even remember the middle episode.
The middle episode, they go find Batman because they think he is the Paragon.
Oh, that's
And it
what's
turns
his
out
name?
that Batman's just a douche and tries to kill Kara. And then
What's his
Batgirl
name? That's the
kills
voice.
him. Yeah.
What's his name? Fuck.
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin Conroy. There you go.
So
And he's
Batwoman
got this
kills
weird
Batman.
fucking mechanical suit because
Exoskeleton.
Superman fucked him up and then he killed Superman.
Nice.
It's a filler.
Yeah, I think it is. I think I called it episode 1.5.
It totally felt like
episode 2.
It totally felt like a filler episode.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because there's only 5 episodes. Like, why make a filler? Like, slow it down, tell the whole story.
And then what was up with Smallville?
Oh yeah.
They advertised that so big. They're like Superman from
They
Smallville. They did. I saw it.
No,
Lots
they
of places.
advertised it. I didn't see it advertised like huge.
It was like one of the only things I saw advertised for it. So
Huh.
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't huge. I just happened to see it. But then he's not even Superman when he's there.
So
He's giving up his powers.
the reason for that is because the actor said he never wants to put the suit on again. And apparently, I
Didn't have to.
haven't watched Smallville.
He only put the suit on once.
So yeah, so a lot of the interviews before the interview they talk about who he is and what he did.
Yeah.
A lot of the interviews say that even in the show, his character never wanted the responsibility either, and so it was an easy transition for him to give up being Superman to have a family, which is
No,
what
I
you
know.
got.
I get the things, but I'm just saying, as far as a driving force to come watch the show.
Oh, see, I
It's
didn't,
like-
I didn't see it that way.
Oh, I definitely think they pitched it as like, if this is cool, it's gonna happen. And then they show up and he's just cutting wood. He's like, yeah, I'm not the dude anymore. Get out of here. And they're like, he's not
Yeah.
the dude anymore. We're getting out of here.
Oh, they get zapped out of there. Lex Luthor zaps him out with the Book of Destiny.
Yeah, because he's like, I'm tired of.
I'm gonna kill him now, because 3 people show up to be like, hey, Lex Luthor's coming to fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he just zaps him out of there. and then Lex Luthor tries to kill him, but he doesn't end up. He gets his face punched in.
Yeah. And then he's like, you're not even worth my time. Luther's away.
And then he dies.
This guy playing Luther, I don't like.
The guy from 2.5 Men,
I'm not a fan of him.
John Crichton. Crichton.
I will say a lot of the other stuff is just me nitpicking, and maybe I would really love it if I watched all the shows. Possible. But I do not think he's a good Luthor. Just like Batman vs Superman, not a good Luthor either.
I've heard really good praises about him in this. I haven't watched his season of Superboy, but he's like in prison, I think, at this point, and then the Monitor brought him back to life.
Yeah.
Why have to give these roles to naturally bald men?
He's
Said the
Cultural
bald man.
appropriation.
Is baldness a culture?
I don't know.
Is now.
Is now. And then the third episode is the Flash episode.
Yes. Where it's a lot of Flash stuff. And
Yes.
the cosmic
The
treadmill, which powers the nullifying thing.
Yes.
And you find out
That is relevantly true.
and you
but-
find out the Pariah is the reason why the Anti-Monitor is out somehow. And Harbinger comes back in what the fuck is it called when a demon comes into you? Possessed.
Possession.
There you go. Possessed.
She's been possessed by the
Harbinger had been possessed by the Anti, but you only see the Anti-Monitor one time in the 3 episodes.
And he looks way cooler than the Monitor.
That's the guy in the green suit, right?
no, that's Pariah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Oh,
Wells.
yeah. So you find out that
Wells has been so many things. in
Yes,
this
it's amazing.
arcs
I
of
fucking
shows.
love it.
you find out that Pariah let the Anti-Monitor out in the first episode. At the very end of the first episode, he says it.
Yeah, I woke up to that.
Does he?
Yeah, he
Something
shows up
about
at the-
how because the Monitor later too says it was a mistake even letting him be created. So the Monitor must have had a play in it also.
Right.
I don't remember enough about the Monitor Anti-Monitor storyline, but
I don't know.
I don't remember either.
It's pretty fascinating. Like I said, I'm
Black
excited
one's
to watch
great.
the rest of it.
I was sad when John Wesley Shipp died, even though everybody dies, but I was pretty sad watching him die because I've seen a lot of him on the show.
yeah, he
now.
disintegrated himself.
Yeah.
With the time, the Speed Force. He stole Barry's Speed Force and Speed Forced himself to death.
The Lucifer crossover was cool as shit.
It
I
was
thought that
cool,
was
but he's
cool.
only in it for 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, they're all in there for only 2 seconds.
Constantine
Every
was in there
fucking
for a
ca-
little bit.
Well, Constantine's in Legends of Tomorrow. He's a regular cast member.
Okay, I might have to go back and watch. That show is, I will say, up to like through season 2, in my opinion, Legends is terrible. It's hard to watch.
It's
It's
fun.
not
I like it. But he's a regular cast
And
member
Black
in that
Lightning.
show.
Oh my!
Oh fuck! I forgot about Black
I
Lightning.
bought the first season when it first came out. Cause actually, Black Lightning is kind of a cool comic book character.
I don't like his
That
outfit.
show
His
is
outfit is
terrible.
awful.
Yeah, they did not do a good job.
But yeah, I
I
forgot
think a
he
big
has
part
a
of
big
his outfit being so awful is because it's the same thing as the Monitor. They like looked at the comic book and said, "We're going to give him this exact suit," and not really think about how that looks on TV.
But I-
I think I right. It's black. Shoots lightning.
They do not bury the lead. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
No, I
Shows
really
about-
enjoyed it. The Lucifer shit was cool because it led into the Spectre, and a lot of people won't know. That's the fun thing for me is I only am fucking halfway in and halfway out. I don't know all the cameos, but the ones I do know that I think that other people won't know are fucking fun for me. And like everybody's like, who's Jim Corrigan? What the fuck are they talking about? Why
Right.
is his eyes green? Like that's fun for me because I know a little bit about that universe.
Nice.
I don't know. This is cool.
That Swamp Thing.
Cool.
Something just stopped the whole thing.
Yeah, that's true.
He's done it a bunch of times.
Been disrespected, Swamp Thing.
He has. He has like averted like these kind of crises in his comics several times now.
The thing is that there's no at this point there's nothing to fight. Like you're just being disintegrated. Like there's not the Anti-Monitor really
Well, you're
hasn't
being taken
made.
to the anti-monitors zone.
Well, I don't know where that is.
Anti-zone.
The anti-zone. I have no idea where that is.
I don't either. It's in the show. I don't know. What's going on.
They don't talk about the anti-universe.
I don't remember this Paragon shit in the comics. I know.
Neither do I.
So
Neither
I
do
don't know what's happening as of right now.
I really enjoy it.
I barely remember reading Crisis on Infinite Earths though. When it came out, I just wasn't a huge I mean, I haven't read tons of superhero stuff for a long time, so.
I hope they kill Supergirl off for good.
She's not. She's not.
Or at least her pants. They just kill her pants off.
Brandon Routh, the other Superman, who's the Atom.
They're all
The
dead.
motherfucker's huge.
Yeah.
If that's really him under the suit, he is stacked.
I don't think so. I
He
think they,
looks huge.
I think they stacked him up a little
They
bit.
may have, but he fucking just looks ginormous.
Yeah, because he's in the to show other times it's not with that jack.
No. They say it. Lois comes in and she's like, "Wow, you look huge."
Yeah. He totally looks like he did one of those like blow on his dog. Like,
Like in the cartoon.
He Popeyed himself.
Oh shit.
like
I'm
half a
looking to
second,
see
I
if
thought
there's
you said
any other
Popeye.
cool.
He Popeyed himself.
what are fans thinking? You know, not at this table on the interwebs. What is this? Is
I
it
wonder if
good?
that'll have a Rotten Tomatoes.
Is it getting a good feedback?
So honestly,
Jonah Hex made a 5-second cameo as well.
That's where he got his scar, evidently. Who knows?
Yes.
I
honestly,
did. It's not how he gets his
this is
scar.
3 episodes deep into it, and I haven't seen anything about it. Like,
Besides what we're posting, or Juan's posting, I have not either.
yeah, like I don't.
Well, besides that, I did see for some reason for like a week straight. I saw that
But that's
Suave
because you
shit.
watch it. Like,
No, but I see it on comicbook.com, on Cinema Blend. I see it on fucking every entertainment website.
Right. This sounds insane, but it's because you watch it. Like, so even not necessarily like what you search on your computer or watch on your
Your
computer.
algorithms are designed to
because
give it to
you
you.
watch it, you see it more. Where I tend to like, if it is in my feed, I'm just glossing over
Right.
it because I'm just
But
not super engaged.
I'm not
It's also
talking about
because
just
he
on my
had it
feed.
everywhere.
No, I know.
So I actually go to the websites, and generally there's like every day there's like 2 or 3 different posts that are created.
Like big
about it.
headlines.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with. I mean, I'm sure there is some kind of fucking algorithm because our website kind of works that way as well. But whenever I write something and put an article up, it's the first thing, and that's usually I go to the websites to see if there's anything cool that we could post about, and not just on the Facebook feed because it doesn't always come up there.
Right.
Every day there's been I saw this cool or this
That's
review
cool.
or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't. I just genuinely haven't seen anything about it. Like, I mean, it was fun to watch the first episode.
January 14th, by the way, is the
Oh man, I could have sworn it said the 4th on that thing.
But no, Rotten Tomatoes, there's no. I mean, I could look it up, but there's no. Yeah, let me Google.
I will say, as a personal, like you said, I didn't know it was building up over a little season. Felt like I went into this with a raging heart on. I left with a semi still. Sad.
Went from hard to turgid.
Just left with a sad heart on.
The Voice tops Monday rating. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's tough to.
When is that
to look it
show
up.
gonna die a fiery death? Like, it's actually,
The Voice?
I like this show, but they never do anything for anyone. No one from like The Voice or American Has Talent goes on to do fucking anything.
No, they do. They
Very
you just don't see
rarely.
it.
Very rare.
I don't pay attention to any of that shit, so I have no idea.
Well, how many Voice winners have there
American
been?
Idol or Voice or any
The
of
pop
that
chart
stuff.
should be filled with The Voice.
I have no
Nuts.
idea. I can't see anything. If I broke it down to like what was the Batwoman rating, I could probably do it that way, but that'd take
Terrible.
too much time. No, but I mean the one that it was in the slot.
Oh, I know, but I'm
Because
just
the first 3 were the
I'm
Supergirl,
surprised they put
Batwoman,
it
and the Flash.
in the Bat world how bad a rating that show's getting.
Well, it's a part
Well,
of the universe.
That's part of what they're trying to do too, is
Yeah,
drawing new
right.
viewers to it.
Just put it all in Black Lightning, 100%.
Well, he wasn't in universe until the very last episode.
Technically, none of them are in the same universe until all the episodes.
No, but they have crossed over and they've been mentioned in each other's episodes before.
Well, they had to bring black people into the universe eventually. Juan.
Oh man, Jesus.
Diggle can't live alone.
Wow.
Diggling by himself.
So the guy that is in the episode of Supergirl with Brainiac and the other lady, that black dude that ends up flying the spaceship at the end of the first episode, that's Martian Manhunter,
Martian
right?
Manhunter, yeah.
Okay,
He's one of the Paragons as well.
okay. I was just like,
I don't know how to feel about
Has
the
he
way
even been
he
in the
looks.
3 shows?
He's in Supergirl on the normal.
No, but I know that. But has he been in any of the 3 crossover shows yet? I don't think he has.
He has. He was in all of them.
John Jones is in the first
Yeah.
one.
Oh yeah, he just doesn't march Manhunter out. He needs to Manhunter out more.
I'm
It
not.
probably costs a fuck
I'm
ton
not a
of
giant
money.
fan of the way he looks when he's 900 out.
That way looks beautiful.
Oh my
Oh
God!
my God.
Jesus!
Fuck.
All
man.
right.
It's been a long
Did
time
you just
since
say
Francis
fuck
Doyle.
Juan?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't
So
say
you're
that
just saying
shit.
fuck Juan?
I didn't say that nonsense.
Sorry,
That came out
Juan.
of Doyle's
Fuck Doyle.
It's been a long time.
I love it. I'm ready for the next two. I'm sad because the era will end, but I think as the Spectre,
Good
he
riddance.
could come back to the universes at some
Right.
point. in the
What if they
future.
start up Green Arrow, Green Lantern, which is the only time I think Green Arrow's been good.
That'd be cool. I would
Except
love
for
the
when-
shit out of
Actually,
that.
there's been some good runs on Green Arrow.
Yeah,
they're
there's
doing
tons of good
they're
runs on
doing what the fuck is the screamy chick called?
Black Canary.
They're doing a Black Canary series as well.
Or I guess
with a
Canary,
bunch of
because
them.
she's not Black Canary.
Yeah, she's just a canary.
Yeah, the Canary and some
Coal
bullshit.
mine
I think it's her like crew. So
Like Birds of Prey.
I think that's what it is now that you say that out loud.
Yes. It's chicks with bird names.
Yes.
The pigeon.
The stool pigeon.
Completely off topic, but I asked him with a bird. Did you see that video on Facebook of like the octopus trying to eat the bald eagle?
Yes. John posted it
Yeah.
because he was all freaked out.
I missed that. I'm gonna have to go find that.
Yeah.
A Mexican saves it. You can hear him in the background. Oh, it's crazy. Stab on a stick.
The bald eagle must have been going for food in the water or something, and the octopus just
But the octopus is massive.
That's awesome. I'm excited to
They
watch
should have
this.
let the octopus eat that eagle. I would watch.
All right, so
thumbs up, giant thumbs up.
yeah,
I'm a thumbs middle until it resolves. I feel like they gotta slow it down and land this plane.
I think he will. I think it'll slow down these last two episodes. The Paragon, so one of the Paragons is Brandon Routh. This is Superman,
right.
and then fucking Lex Luthor like fucking disintegrates him, and he's now a Paragon of whatever.
The way he did it
Hope or some
is
shit.
silly. In the
He
book of
used
like
Book of
Destiny,
bro.
he crossed out Superman's symbol and wrote Lex on it, and it changed their position.
Seems very comic book. Like I'm gonna be really honest with
That-
you.
But Luthor
That's
is the
what this
brain.
that's why I love it so much. You see those comic booky
Yeah,
visuals
That's
that
what I
you're,
liked
that you're
about
not
the first
used to.
episode.
But with Luthor, you're supposed to have that like you didn't see this coming, not like that's super straightforward.
I didn't see it coming.
How about you, Tim? Where are you at on the like 15 to 20 minutes of this that you saw?
It looks neat. Looks real neat. Am I gonna watch any more of it?
Nope. I'll give this a thumbs up. I like the first episode. I'm with Doyle a little bit where it seems a little scatterbrained and it seems like everything is like, oh god, oh, and now we're here, and now we're here, and now we're going here, and now we're there. And that was kind of weird, but it was intriguing enough that I really want to see the next 2 episodes that are already out and then the 2 more that are coming up. So, I mean, and I said that about Watchmen and actually finished it. So, boom.
Me too. I thought it was good.
Yeah,
I never said you wouldn't finish watching.
no, I usually say I'm gonna watch stuff and then I don't.
And
But-
then he just don't.
I just don't.
Because he doesn't have the time
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
I genuinely don't most of the time.
Yeah, if you would just put some of your beating off time aside.
Dude,
Yeah, weren't you sick like all last week?
3 to 5 minutes a day is a lot.
Can you just watch TV while you're just laid up?
I didn't take work off. I just didn't feel good.
I think you told me you took one day off.
I think I did take 1 day off.
It's prime TV watching, buddy.
Oh no, I slept. So this is crazy. I wake up like 6 in the morning every morning. I know, working at night you are the same way. You wake up at like an exact time
It
every
doesn't
day.
work at night
I know, not anymore, which is awesome.
My new schedule's yet to be defined.
But
anymore. Don't come back.
But I felt so shitty. I woke up at my normal time. I got Hannah ready to go. I took her to school. I came home. I laid back down. I slept till 2 in the afternoon. I haven't fucking slept till 2 in the afternoon probably
Since
since
I
I
went
was.
to a rodeo.
And
It was his
this
first
is
one.
not my
Yeah.
first rodeo. It's been a while though.
Feels good.
It felt really good. But,
All right, bitches.
Feels good.
Let's get to the live.
all right. Well, with that said, I got a full day's sleep. This has been Gabe. That's
Tim.
I'm Doyle.
I'm on.
and this has been episode 160 for Thinking Outside the Long
Right.
Box. Be sure to visit us at www.totlb.com to find out more about your show, more about our show,
What is
and how
wrong with
I
you?
burped. I keep
If
burping.
you have a show, you can also Google your show.
Yeah, Google your show.
You can Google whatever you want.
You won't find your show at www.totlb.com, but you'll find our show there. And be
Is it
sure.
old timey that you still say www?
I just like saying it, cuz.
Okay.
But go to totlb.com.
I don't know if it's
product.
old-timey.
It is old timey.
What if I Google my show? I will find it.
totlb.com/product/2020-boudoir-calendar to get our new boudoir calendar. Be sure to check it out.
1550 bitches.
It's super awesome.
Seriously.
We have a lot of fun making it, and we
You
want
don't
you
live in
guys.
Ethiopia, fucktard. Unless you do. But if you live in America, buy this calendar.
If you live in a Muslim nation, probably don't buy this calendar.
I don't know.
Or buy it. I don't know the specifics about that.
I mean, I feel like you could get in a lot of trouble in some countries for
I'll
having
write
it.
you that on if you want me to.
Alright, let's get
Alright. See you guys in a couple days for our listener interaction. Bye.
Gotta take a shower.
All right.
Yeah, Jen's not that good. It's just
YouTube,
all
Twitch. We are heading over to
I
Facebook.
have Facebook here if you want, and just if you want to just keep that up there.
Let's take like a 2-minute break.
No, that's
Yes,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tired
yeah.
of
You
sitting
want
up.
us to keep going on YouTube
Yeah,
and Twitch?
and then I'll jump on Facebook.
Okay.
We're gonna leave it streaming.
Yeah, we'll leave it stream and take a couple minutes, guys.
Streaming.
You can also find us on Facebook at
Right now.
facebook.com/totlb.
Peanut brittle.
Streaming.
Streaming.
I've eaten a lot of peanut brittle.
I know, dude. My brain is. I've been off sugar for quite a while now, and I'm fucking drooling, swimming in there.
It is a big head.
I know.
Are you gonna get up or something, or did you just want to not talk?
No, I am gonna get up. I didn't know if we were like officially breaking yet.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, we're good. I stopped it.
Nobody else moved?
The first 10 minutes of the live stream.
Well, because I don't need to get up. I'm good.
Yeah, Monday.
Tomorrow? No,
What are your days off now?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, so we share a day off.
We need to do a fucking snack
Right.
episode.
Well, now we know when we can.
And I saw the hot wing challenge that the fucking Bitface bitches did.
Yeah.
So now I'm all fucking pumped to do some hot wings.
Oh, I'll smash them out. I don't care how spicy they are.
What's up? Love you. We're on our last episode.
Jim said he's only going to stick around for 10 minutes. I'll probably scoot into this seat.
That's fine. Just make Tim leave now. Bye, Tim.
Don't worry, Mel and I are old ladies over here crocheting away.
I
Love
mean,
it.
you don't need to be old to crochet.
This peanut brittle is fucking spectacular.
She thought she fucked it up too.
God, it fucking tastes great.
Now we just need to do it like that every time.
I feel like the whole recording you're just going to hear munch, 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 munch.
And I'll clip off look.
Okay, buddy, it's okay.
Are you talking to the dog on the TV?
That dog's already dead. From complications.
Probably a
Got
dog.
it.
We're watching the shit out of the show.
I hate stuff like this. So
I love
much.
it. Most of the time, the animals are okay.
Did they think it was a snake or something?
I don't know. Oh, well, I didn't hear the first part. I don't know if they do.
We had a couple that are 6 come in when they were doing it. And they all loved that.
It's like an infected wound.
Why are they giving me pain medication?
He's a fucking dog, dude.
I bet it still hurts.
I think they did. I think he shot him up with something.
That's probably why he's laying so still. Oh yeah, he's out.
Tom's like, I feel it. I feel it.
You old man.
So what happened? Somebody sold these to him, or what? What did he say?
Oh no, he bought them from a coworker.
We're told.
They're hot.
I believe they fell off a truck and fell into his truck. You better remember that story, right?
It was a good story.
Remember Jimmy Marshall? That's the reason why Mara had to work 9 days in a row.
That's just a mud.
See fucking Dom almost die?
What's that?
You see Dom almost die?
No.
He got diagnosed with diverticulitis. And he had the same thing I did the first time. Some corn chips, that's fine. Yeah. And so it's just like it was just like the first time I got it, where he didn't know
What was
he
going
didn't
on?
know what was happening, and he refused to go to the hospital until his girlfriend was like, apparently he was being stubborn and he didn't want to go. He's still on. Yeah, they were talking about maybe surgery, some muscle. He was in and he got taken away in an ambulance.
Shit.
You're not paying attention to Facebook, bro.
Dude,
I just make sure that
shit.
if she's doing anything bad, let me know right away, okay? She's probably passed out. That's why I didn't pull her out.
Punch her in the face.
Hey, watch your mouth.
God.
Oh.
Where's your sister?
Uh.
What is she doing in your room? If you're step on the dog.
Johnny, if you're calm, the dog will be calm.
You come her.
Comer. Are you live on Facebook yet?
No, I didn't. Are we starting?
I mean, might as
Do
well.
an intro.
I don't know when she's gonna develop the calm state all the time. Like at the house, she's pretty chill actually, but new people of any kind, even people she knows, freaks the fuck out.
Even people she knows, and this is episode 166 of Thinking Outside the Long Box.
What the fuck's Tim?
Taking a shit.
Oh, diverticulitis.
So if he's taking
No, that was Dom.
Oh.
He's gonna have to eat level shit.
I mean, I would assume so.
Our best goes out to Dom. May he not die of diverticulitis.
Yeah, no, it's the worst.
Yeah,
for
What
sure.
is it
It's an
exactly?
awful. You get polyps on your intestine, and so as food, there's a higher
Is that
chance. Yeah, we're good. We're recording there too. So as food's passing through, there's a higher chance of that becoming infected, and then I know this is not exciting. Diverticulosis is the diagnosis of having polyps on your colon. And then diverticulitis is the diagnosis of actually having an infection in your colon from the polyps. So it was one of the worst pains I've ever had in my life. And I've been to the ER 4 times now.
Dude, that sucks, man.
Usually it's an old man thing. It's
So
an
what
old-
happened? Like what kind? Describe the pain.
Oh, it's fucking It's kind of like when your pancreas is about to go out. And it's but it's on the left side, and I think your pancreas is on the right side. It's fucking appendix. There you go. Now your
I was like,
your appendix. There you go. It's just an awful internal pain. It's just bad.
I'm just trying to visualize in case it ever happens.
It's fucking bad, bro. It's awful. The first time Alicia would tell you I was sleeping or something, and she kind of rolled her arm on me, and I fucking woke up just like ah. It was the worst. Hey, two people.
Well, on that note, Juan is not currently suffering from diverticulitis,
No,
but
we wish Dom a speedy recovery.
for sure, we would hate for him to not be in.
If you need any
good
of my
shape.
colon, bro, you let me know.
He's big. He has a lot of colon.
He does have a lot of
I'm pretty
colon.
sure I got extra colon.
And if not, you know a good bunghole cutter. So
True, I can get you some colon.
so this is Tim's seat.
There's 14 people watching us right now.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Tim lose some of his colon?
No.
Hey Neil.
I think they like scraped his asshole or some shit.
Yeah. Oh no, remember he had two
I thought they
assholes from
cut
the
some of his
abscess.
things.
No, I don't think it was the colon though.
Oh, okay.
That's gross.
Why?
Watching the stream from the toilet, Tim says.
Awesome. Hi
Tim,
Tim.
how many colons do you have now?
So this is our listener interaction episode. I have no idea what's going on.
So for recording sake, I'm Gabe. This is Tim's seat.
Oh yeah,
I'm Doyle.
I'm Juan.
If you're watching live, hi everybody. Hope you're having a good time.
You are
So
100% living with your own colon.
so for this recording session, these episodes have been about Gallagher, Gattaca, Galga, Watchmen, and Crisis on Infinite Earths
Crisis
from the
on
CW.
The CW.
So please, if you have any comments about those things, we'd love to hear about it. I have a watch party going on my page, and I know Juan is watching comments on
Same
our
time,
Facebook.
same Tim, says Ryan Roth.
Nice.
Ryan, hello. Thank you for being a Patreon supporter. I believe I haven't checked lately, but I think you're still a Patreon supporter.
The hell's with you?
Good,
No,
Corey.
sorry.
How are you, man?
Bye.
Ass wipe,
Um,
hands washed, let's go, boys.
Also, anything pop culture related,
Yes.
we are all about talking about it. So please chat us up.
Yeah.
Like I said, I have a watch party going on my page, so I have this chat
Fuck
going.
those people.
Fuck those people. It gets this video extra fucking views.
Those
I
people
think
should just go to
you
our
don't
page.
understand how
Those
the
people
internet
should
works
just go to our
sometimes.
What do you mean, those people?
Those people should just go to our page.
Well, you know what?
The people that really like to watch Black Lightning.
Oh man. So
I haven't watched Black Lightning, so I don't know if
it's
it's
not
good
great.
or not. No.
I watched like 3 episodes of it.
Although it's 3
Kinda
seasons deep, so maybe it gets better. I don't know.
out. I mean,
Yeah.
you would presume it does.
Hopefully.
Here's how little I give a shit
Johnny
about it. I do not
Belinda
know if
Honduras says, "Hey, Lunchbox."
Yeah, we're
Hey,
on
what's up, Johnny?
3 seasons.
I don't know. Is that a?
It's a skater mom.
Oh,
Black
then I
Lightning
will try not to talk so
does
much
strike
shit to
twice,
her.
Tim.
No,
The Black Lightning does
she can
strike.
take it. Trust me.
I just try not to talk shit to random people unless it's groups of people that are on your chat that need to be in our chat.
One of the guys on my watch party said, "Fuck you, dude."
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I don't give a fuck.
I watched him staple gun people, and he just threatened to get a staple gun. So you know,
That sounds like a crime.
well, I mean,
Unless he's hanging up one of our new boudoir calendars.
speaking of which, go to totlb.com/product/2020-boudoir-calendar. We definitely have to get a shorter link for that, but you can just go to
Most people don't say
you
it
could
out
just
loud.
go to totlb.com and click on our products to get yourself one of our new boudoir calendars. The
I'm
picture
gonna put it in the chat box. Right
sounds
now.
awesome. So you can find more information about it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thinkingoutsidethelongbox. Please check that out. If you're on our YouTube or Twitch streams, you can go to all those places too. You know how the internet works.
Shit
Anyway.
talk accepted, Johnny. I like you, Johnny, because you're here in our stream.
Yeah.
I fucking love you. I don't know who you are, but I love you.
Guys, we boudoired once. We'd like to boudoir again,
Yes.
but it's up to you.
It's $15.50. Come
Yeah,
on.
it's
Plus
awesome.
shipping, it's $22.
We've tried
We're,
to sell
we're
way
about
more
to
expensive
we're
stuff.
about to buy 25 of these bitches because we're buying them for
Yes.
Patreon supporters. All of the models. Buy one.
Buy one.
Come on.
It'll happen.
It's a great present for your mom. Your
Because
pastor.
Maybe not your mom. I mean,
For your Muslim friend, it's really great. Or
I don't.
just not thinking people in this calendar is perfect for.
Cerna,
Gay
Cerna,
dudes.
Gay dudes.
I'm gonna.
perfect for them.
Cerna,
Perfect
if
for
you're
gay
watching
dudes.
at some point, you said you were gonna buy one. Fucker, you better buy one.
just message it.
I did.
You'll hear back from him in 6 to 8 months.
I don't even know you, sir.
You know Frankie.
I do know you,
So
sir.
Corey, you can find our YouTube channel at tinyurl.com/totlbtube. That's the easiest way to find our YouTube
It's
channel.
about time I got the love. Johnny or Joni?
It's Johnny.
Johnny?
Your
Okay.
son's watching.
I love you. You get a lot of love. All right. Now buy a calendar. Hopefully.
She gets love all the time from us.
I didn't say she did.
I know, but why is she complaining about
She's
it?
not. She just said it's about. Oh yeah, she did kind of
Yeah,
complain.
she is kind
That's
of
a, that's a
complaining.
lie.
Johnny, we love you, and you know that.
I love you more than all the people on Gabe's chat
That is a fucking lie.
combined.
Come on, Yone.
Johnny, hopefully you'll buy a calendar. The link is right above your last statement.
Is Johnny 5 alive?
Oh God, I used to get that. Was a lot of people called me that when I was little.
Johnny 5?
Johnny 5.
Is alive.
Why?
Because you don't know.
Story time's why.
Nobody called me to lessen the confusion in my household. I was Johnny, and my dad was Juan. That's why we call Johnny Johnny.
Because he's one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then someday, when Johnny has a kid, he'll be like, I'm one. You're the Johnny now.
And now that I know a female named Johnny, even if he has a daughter, he can call her Johnny.
Brendan Pope
Fucking
says
A.
he's moist.
Brandon who?
Pope? one
Yeah,
of-
don't care.
I
So,
suggest.
okay, so here's my problem with this one.
a
I
dry
know that you're just fucking around, but I relented to you, talking to the people in the comments, and now that we have more people interacting, because I did my grand experiment of
Here's the
friending
thing.
3,000 fucking people.
Fucking worked, I guess.
I'm happy that we have more people, but I want them to interact with the page.
I know.
I
and
want them
said
to
that.
interact with TOTLB,
And
not with Gabe
they-
Giannis. I
they-
don't care about that. That doesn't help me at all.
Except for this is live through TOTLB.
We'll see
and
how
they
many.
see that.
We'll see how many people like our page and actually interact.
All right, so I'll put a link to it.
You better like our page.
Go like-
Kisses. Johnny sends you kisses.
Go like our page.
After you buy a calendar.
I'll
Yeah.
put a link in my comment.
You guys
Also-
are so funny, Johnny says.
Probably
We are pretty fucking funny.
Help a poor kid at some point.
A poor kid?
Yeah.
I'm helping my two poor kids.
No, we're all poor kids. You need to buy a calendar.
Oh.
Maybe you guys buy enough, I can kill less
Guys,
cows.
it's facebook.com/thinking outside the lawn.
Correct.
Okay.
He didn't even know anything about it.
No, I just forget. I forget things. I smoke a ton
5
of
years.
dope.
It's been the same.
I know. I just have moments sometimes where I'm like, is that the right one? Because it's like 18 different fucking things.
It's
So
not. It's two different things.
it's
Outside long box and thinking outside long box.
and outside the long box
Okay,
and
so
a phone number
it's
to
three
memorize.
things. It's three
4 things.
Fuck.
Oh man. So
Anybody have any random topics?
I do. So a long time ago, probably like 6 to 8 months
The
ago,
prolapse episode.
you talked a shitload about prolapses, right? So Tim through his kindness has allowed me to borrow his Disney Plus because you get several different logons.
So I could give you one more totally legal way to view content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Is that legal now?
yeah, he's sharing one of his 4 logins with me. So
Oh, they give you 4.
So every
Yeah.
Disney
Why
Plus.
do you have
account
4
takes
logins?
it comes with
No,
it.
it's like Netflix. You
I have 4 logins?
Yeah, if you got Disney Plus, you got 4 logins.
You have 4 devices that you can log into. It's like
Doyle-
Netflix.
Doyle's like, fuck, I'm gonna go log in several other places.
Well, I like the phone too, so
So-
that's 2 of my
It
logins.
is. Yes.
So one of the things that's on Disney Plus, like we talked about several episodes back,
Chelsea.
is hi Chelsea, is National
Doyle.
Geographic Channel.
I had to
Okay.
turn it off
Yeah,
real
Nat
quick.
Geo.
real
So
quick.
National Geographic Channel has Dr. Pol, which
Yes,
is
sir.
the show that you were talking about prolapses
Correct.
so much about.
All
So
prolapse.
Hannah loves veterinary stuff. She wants to be a veterinarian when she grows up. Mel's, loves that stuff. She was a vet tech for a lot of years. And so Hannah and her have just been watching the shit out of Dr. Pol, and as a consequence, I have had to watch way more prolapses than I care to watch. So, but the show's, it's really
I
good.
love this show.
It's just kind of nice.
He only likes it when it's important.
It's wholesome. I definitely don't like getting in porn. That is nasty.
Can't get enough of it.
It's nasty anywhere.
But it's cool. It's cool because most of the animals, most of them end up living. There are some
After
people,
they,
some animals that have to be
after they
put down.
fist their buttholes back into
The
their
episode
body.
I taught was a lot of fisting animal buttholes and dead puppies. Like, this is not something I wanted to watch today. And that description, yes, it is on Disney Plus.
Well, it's not because Disney just acquired Nat Geo.
This is true.
Yeah.
So the world according to Jeff Goldblum.
Watchmen is
Well,
out.
I still
according-
have not watched
that
that.
show
Is
is
it
the
really
shit.
good? Is it?
I have never been so interested in denim in my whole fucking life.
I've never been
Like-
interested in shoes in my entire
Like,
life. Like it
it
does
is-
such a good
it
job
is
of
the
making
weirdest-
you give a shit about stuff.
It is the weirdest show because Jeff Goldblum may be the strangest fucking human being alive.
Correct.
But holy fuck, that show is cool. Like, the episode about denim is fascinating. And, like, the fact that, like, there are people that literally go dig around in mine shafts to try to get denim
pairs
pants
of
and denim shirts out of them is insane.
And
Like,
that like people collect them and they sell for like thousands of
Tens of
dollars.
thousands
Yes.
of dollars.
Crazy
he's
money.
got,
Pants?
Yes.
yeah, he's got like a crazy, like,
If you ever watch,
one pocket Levi's or something that are worth
Yeah,
like
it's like-
thousands
It's
and
like
thousands
the
of dollars. The
original
original
Levi
Levi's.
pants.
if you ever watch Storage Wars,
Yeah.
you learn a lot of random shit about things like that that you never thought were fucking worth anything.
Yeah.
They had somebody had stored away 2 like 6-foot tall piles of newspapers. I think it was the day that JFK got assassinated.
Oh,
Sold for thousands of dollars.
yeah.
It was crazy.
I used to have a boss that collected vintage newspapers, and he was constantly buying, like, you know, VE Day and VJ Day.
BJ Day?
BJ Day.
Oh,
Victory,
doesn't sound
victory over
BJ
Japan.
Day sounds way better.
BJ
Yeah.
Day, I feel like I prefer BJ Day.
I'm sure
over
there's
VJ.
I'm sure there's a BJ Day.
Everybody got blowjobs.
Literally everybody, men, women, children,
Dogs, cats, horses.
some loud kids back there.
Steak and Blowjob Day is March 14th.
Yes. Putting it in my calendar
Is that like
right
the-
now.
Is that like the anti-Valentine's Day?
It's a satirical holiday created in the United States as a male response to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
March what?
March 14th.
So the month after Valentine's Day.
Consider it added.
Oh my god.
Steak and
We gotta remind his
Hello,
Alicia on March
Josh.
13th.
yeah.
What are you getting? One. Or wait.
What do you get?
Steak and a
Steak
blowjob, bro.
Tip for steak and blowjob dinner.
Neil Cutter says Pawn Stars is another good show for that kind of stuff where you learn about random
Do you
shit.
know where Neil Cutter came from?
Uh,
He came from my watch party, liked our
Nice.
page, and started
there you
watching.
go. That's what I'm asking
Yeah.
people to do.
So that's fine.
Right?
So success.
I like Neil Cutter.
Neil, come staple one in the
I
forehead.
like Neil Cutter. All the other people I don't like yet.
Neil's a deathmatch wrestler.
I'm sorry, Neil. I don't get into that stuff.
I fucking do.
I love wrestling, but I don't get into that.
I
that
love
side.
deathmatch wrestling.
I
It's the
enjoy
fucking
watching
shit.
you deathmatch wrestle.
Well, he's still alive, so he must
he
be pretty
might
good,
be
right?
talented
Yeah, he's
because
pretty
I don't
good.
know nothing about Neil, so I don't want to downgrade what he does. But I feel like most of the people who do that kind of stuff don't have any talent. Their talent is to blow up or land on shit, and I don't see that as a talent.
I watch a lot of it, and I would have to disagree.
I just don't see it as a talent.
I
There
think you
probably
would see.
are people who are not very good who have worked their way into there, but there's probably good people too.
Well, yeah, no,
Oh,
I'm
for
not.
sure.
I'm not saying as a whole. I'm just saying in general. Mankind. A lot of people said Mankind was a glorified stuntman. You know, and that's. I think once he developed a little bit more, he became better and better and better. But I think
I'm just saying.
that's where a lot of people start who don't really know how to wrestle, but they know how to fall on shit.
Right, and I don't disagree with that, but I would say that a lot of the higher level deathmatch wrestlers, if you're going to end up on a pay-per-view for like GCW or like CZW or something like that, you have wrestled to a point where you could wrestle a straight match and be just as good in it as you could in a death match, and that's yeah.
Johnny said celebrity deathmatch.
Celebrity
That shit
deathmatch
was
is
fucking
fucking amazing.
When
are they gonna bring that back?
On your head.
I don't know why it's not a thing. It's just
got as
fucking
much
animation.
Brandon Pope just tagged who I believe is probably his girlfriend about steak and blowjob.
I remember Celebrity Deathmatch where it wasn't even its own show yet. It was a
It was on-
halftime
Yeah, it was
Super
the
Bowl
Super
thing.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like Marilyn Manson versus
Stone Cold was in it. Like all kinds of
Dude,
crazy
that show
people.
was fucking amazing. That was probably one of the first times I saw. That's probably one of the first times I saw claymation. that I was like, wow, that's fucking amazing.
Wow,
Like,
this isn't lame and singing songs about Halloween.
this isn't
A lot of
Gumby.
people love that fucking shit movie. I do not.
First,
I don't think Nightmare Before Christmas is claymation. It's models.
It's claymation.
Is it?
Yep.
Oh, I always thought it was just models.
Ryan Roth said Mox for one, and I don't know what that means.
Fuck yes.
plus, there's a certain
John
bold
Moxley, dude.
English guy with his dog.
Dean Ambrose.
Oh,
He went from CCW to WWE to being one of the biggest stars on AEW.
I don't think that
And he's a fucking super talented wrestler.
I don't think that he's the best wrestler, but you can't deny that he's not
I think he's
a big star.
He is a huge star.
Yeah.
And
No,
he,
I
is,
agree.
he is a very talented wrestler too.
I just
If there's
don't- I
anything
think he
can
was
think
the
of
worst
before
of the
Wallace
three.
and Gromit.
Oof. Roman Reigns is the worst of the three.
Somewhere just announced they're bringing
Still
Celebrity
on
Deathmatch
Claymation.
back. Oh, there you go.
Nice.
It's all over now.
It's because I don't know anymore.
Ryan Roth watches wrestling, huh? That's
Stop
cool.
talking
Yeah.
about Frozen, apparently.
Neil said on mine that kids nowadays talk about SpongeBob, and I'm over here like Ren and Stimpy.
I love Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
I love playing the Super
Those
Nintendo Ren and Stimpy game.
are
That
the
was the
Holy
shit.
shit, that game was
It
super
was so
fun.
fun.
Okay, so
Atmosphere.
Tim, as our resident video gamer, the guy that games the most,
He's never played it.
do you remember the Chippendales Rescue Rangers game on the original Nintendo?
Yeah, it was
and
fucking
how
hard.
it was like one of the most fun but also most difficult games ever.
Correct.
Oh my
Awesome.
god, I fucking love Chippendale.
Sweet. Johnny said sweet. That's my favorite wrestling show. I don't know which wrestling show. We said
I
a
think
lot of
Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think that's not.
There were so many good in that line. Darkwing Duck. Also amazing.
Dude, the Disney
Darkwing Duck
afternoon was
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, it also had a great
Gargoyles,
All of that is on
Darkwing
Plus.
Chippendales Rescue Rangers, DuckTales. Hannah watched like 4 hours of DuckTales
What's
the
the
first
movie
day
with
we
the
had Disney
fucking
Plus.
bear and they fly the plane? He has the
Tailspin.
Tailspin.
God damn it, that
Tailspin
show was so
shit.
good.
Look at that fucking abscess, bro. It's giant.
No!
We all let. D'Angelo says I game 27 hours a day, 465 times a year.
D'Angelo's one of the few people I know
Assassino?
that has like
Yeah.
I think his achievement, because he's an achievement hunter kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think he has Skyrim at around 80 or 90. He might have had it completed by now.
That's gross.
He goes hard on games when he's feeling them.
Neil Cutter brought up Biker Mice from Mars. That show was awesome as well.
Oh, the wannabe
You don't
Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, that show was fun though.
That's like
I've
the
just never heard of
one with the sharks.
Oh, Shark
Street,
Cop.
street sharks.
Street Sharks.
Street
Yeah.
Sharks.
God, that show was shitty as
Just
fuck.
causing so much property damage. Street Sharks.
That's
Land Shark.
anything now.
But I mean, they literally
The
travel
Avengers
by
are just
doing
like,
property damage.
whatever.
I
knock
agree
a
with
building
D'Angelo
down.
talking about giving us the Gargoyles remake. I don't even want a Gargoyles remake. Do more episodes.
Just do more.
More episodes of Gargoyles.
Supposedly it's like the
Grab
second.
the same animation team.
Absolutely.
Just do it. Just do more of it.
Supposedly it's the second highest streamed anything on Disney Plus.
Right behind Mandalorian.
Right behind Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Because
I have not
Mandalorian's
caught
like
up on the Mandalorian.
it's like number one in the world right
I'm
now.
not loving it.
I think
No?
we're only 2 episodes behind on Mandalorian. I'm the opposite. I fucking dig the shit out of it.
I ended on the Gina Carano episode,
Which one's that?
where he meets the female.
The high ground one?
Yeah. No, the one before that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Gina
I think-
Carano is the lady
Oh, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
on the
yeah.
planet
Yeah,
before
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's just her real name.
I think we watched the high ground episode, so maybe we're only 1 behind.
What's up, 10 people watching? Love you guys. Buy
Yeah,
a
there's only
calendar.
one episode right now.
TOTLB.com/shop.
Oh, I didn't know you could see that.
Well, that's where all our merchandise is.
Oh, okay.
You've
Well-
just been linking specifically to the calendar.
And we stopped talking about it at your house because you said no more talking about it. But
Yeah.
I really feel like they just cut that show super bad and awkwardly. To where every episode just feels weird to me. It's like
Well, you know
it
what?
starts
right?
weird and ends weird. I know I've heard it's shot as a movie and then
Yeah.
cut up. But you could still do a better job than they've done.
Chelsea said the
Some of the
Gargoyles
episodes
is
are noticeably better though.
Gargoyles
I think
is
it
awesome.
shows when they're like, okay, this is stuff we originally filmed for the movie, and some of these scenes
The
are from.
special effects are weird too. It's like that when he fought that rhino thing or whatever.
Yeah,
That was like looked movie quality.
yeah.
And then when they're fighting
That was
the-
probably something that was going to be in the movie
when they're
version
fighting
of
the
it.
chicken walker, it's like it looks kind of terrible.
Yeah, it does. And
I'm
that
just
was
like-
probably something they added when they were like, okay, we're going to make it a series now.
You know what I do like is at the end of every episode, what
Oh, that was good. That was funny.
Oh
Tell me
man.
again, what do you really
Yes, Chelsea already bought a calendar. Thank you, Chelsea. I appreciate you every day.
Leave
That
the
you're a-
porcupines alone.
But she's talking to the TV
I was
show.
like, what the fuck?
So
Leave the
What I-
porcupines alone.
what I love about the show is the end credit sequence when it goes and it shows the sketches for what they were going to do
That's
in the
cool.
show, and
I
it's
agree.
always a little different. You know, you can see the original concepts. That's something I really, really
If they
dig
do
about
an
the show.
art book for this movie, I'll 100% buy it.
I like Baby Yoda.
Everybody likes Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I don't hate on Baby Yoda.
So I had this conversation with my dad on the phone.
I would
was
kill
like,
him.
do you think somebody, or more than somebody, like a couple of people lost their jobs for dropping the ball on Baby Yoda merchandise?
That it took like 3 weeks for it to come out.
That
No,
there's
they
still
wanted it to come
nothing out
It is out.
No, there's toys and stuff out now.
for Baby Yoda?
Yeah, there's like plush toys
Yeah.
and shirts and all
They
that.
they specifically didn't put it out until that episode came out. though.
Yeah.
So I had heard that nothing was going to be available for Christmas.
No, they right after that aired, like the next day, they're like, buy plush Yodas. They just didn't want to release anything to give it away.
Okay, maybe I'm a little behind on the news there. 'Cause
D'Angelo wants to know about baby cheese.
Baby what?
Baby cheese.
Baby
Is he
cheese.
watching on yours or ours?
He's on mine.
He's not on ours, bro. What'd I tell you?
How about baby cheese?
D'Angelo, go to the other one so that Juan can
I don't
stop
know what
having
baby
it.
cheese means.
I don't know what that means either.
That might be an autocorrect thing.
Do you live on a dairy farm?
Neil Cutter wants to know
I
when the
can
last
assure
time
you,
he saw a working
D'Angelo is
payphone.
nowhere near
A
cows.
working payphone?
No.
I don't
unfortunately-
remember the
Decade,
last time
probably.
I saw a working payphone.
There's one in Parker because I've driven by it.
There's a couple in Greeley still.
I wouldn't know where.
Out by the ice house, I think there's one.
By the Wobblies, probably. That's usually where they meet them.
My phone, if any stranger walks up to me, becomes a pay phone if they want to use it.
Yeah. $15, little man.
$15? No, fuck you.
Put that shit in my hand.
It's worth way more than $15.
Sounds like $1,000.
Yeah.
I don't need some stranger on the street getting
Oh, he said-
syphilades all over my phone.
He said, "Oh shit, typo, baby Wookiee." And then he said, "I want to see Jedi Provolone."
There's a baby Wookiee?
That must be the latest episode.
I must have missed
I
that
may
one.
not have
Yeah.
seen it yet.
We're not up to date, bruh.
I just read a headline about how Ozymandias Ozymandias is related to somebody.
Ozymandias.
But I didn't read the it.
Oh,
So coming
don't
out of
tell me.
something.
Yeah, don't tell us.
I didn't
Shut
read
your-
it. I didn't read it.
Shut your damn door, no one.
So
I
Watchmen.
flicked through Facebook and there was like 3 spoiler articles
Oh,
about
yeah.
the episode. and
I
was
just
like,
read the title.
So Watchmen, final episode of season's coming out. We
It's
just did
probably
an
already out.
we just did an episode of it about it a couple hours ago.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago. If you're listening in the podcast, fucking loving the show. Can't wait to watch the season finale. So, but like honestly, I'll probably go home, smoke up, and watch it. So,
Now what the fuck are we gonna watch?
I see everything's in hiatus. Like right now, all the podcasts. And you were talking about
Yeah,
this.
like
all the
all
podcasts
shows
I
I
listen to are
are
on
done
hiatus.
right
All
now.
the shows I watch are on hiatus. Like,
The Blacklist for me is on hiatus
Yeah.
until fucking March, I think.
Is anyone watching that like Golden Compass show
I
that
haven't
HBO is
yet.
doing?
I want to.
I've tried
I
to
watched
watch.
the first episode real slow.
I've tried to watch that first episode on 5 separate occasions.
The
and
movie
it's just
sucks, too.
So fucking boring to me.
How is this book well received? This seems to be a terrible idea.
It's like that stupid puppet.
Maybe Chewie would.
It's like that stupid puppet fucking show that Tim had us watch.
Which one?
Which
Oh,
one's
Oh, not Highlander, Outlander.
Yeah. No,
Oh, he's talking
the
about
puppet
Dark
show. There you go, Dark Crystal.
Oh, ooh,
That was sucks.
dude, that was suck much gay. Like that was the worst.
I'd rather blow a guy while blowing another guy than watch that again.
I mean, I would. There's probably a lot of things though that are on that list.
Wade Johnson said that Watchmen has been surprisingly good. Oh shit, our live feed. Okay, resumed. That's weird. Watchmen has been surprisingly good.
yes.
I don't know why. Surprisingly, did people think it was?
A
Gonna be
lot of
bad?
people didn't think it was gonna be good.
Yeah.
A lot of
Because,
people
and I
were
think a lot of that hate was the people that hated the movie.
Yeah, like the comic
A
book.
lot of the hate is because everyone's a hater these days.
That too.
Everyone has their giant gallon of haterade and their
I just feel like
hater popcorn.
I feel like people.
Oh, I buffered out again.
Yeah, and it's there again. I don't know what's going on. Everybody must be connected to the Wi-Fi all at one time.
I'm
But
Fucking Trump's cutting our access to the interweb.
well, I feel like
The
people.
FCC.
I feel like people are whining so much about reboots and remakes and adaptations that they think that the old one is gonna magically erase from their brain because the new one's coming out. I just don't fucking get
It's
that.
beyond that. It just seems like everyone wants to hate on everything. Like the Crisis thing.
I
Like
agree.
I didn't love it, but even though I talked bad about it, I still liked it enough to like watch it. I still gonna keep watching it.
I
But
just
people, everything I read, it's like this is coming out. It's gonna suck. It's gonna
Yeah.
fucking suck.
just watch it. That's what I don't understand.
Like,
Just
there's
watch it. Just and then see.
The new Star Wars, I've read like nothing
Oh,
good
buddy,
about it.
nothing.
Everyone's just like, it's fucking sucks so
I
bad.
saw a meme that expressed it perfectly. That said something to the effect of Star Wars fans upset about new Star Wars movie, just not sure why yet.
Yeah.
Like because everybody seems like they need to shit on the new Star Wars movie.
They shit
and
on.
they're
I'm
good.
telling you, they shit on everything.
I just bought The
They
Last
do.
Jedi 2 days ago,
They
and
do.
I watched it for the first time since it was in the theater. It's a good fucking
If,
movie.
if you watch it and you really don't like something, cool, good on you. You know, but before Wonder Woman comes out or before Captain Marvel comes out or whatever the fuck, like if you
I'm
don't, you
excited
don't
about
even
that
know
Wonder
if it's good or not. Like
So-
just let it
so-
be.
So
Oh, the first
D'Angelo
one's so
says D'Angelo says something that I can kind of agree with. He says, yeah, because who doesn't want to watch Spider-Man's origin story 5 times? That I agree with. You don't need to tell Batman.
I'm pretty sure we
Spider-Man,
talked about that on the
Superman's
show.
origin story over and over again.
If it's amazing, cool.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch it,
Just
why
don't.
shit on it? Just don't watch it.
Yeah.
That's what I don't get.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut and just don't watch it.
Well, no, I understand shitting on it in certain things, like if you want to have conversations with your friends or whatever. It's
No, I
just
get
like
that. I get that.
it's the constant
'Cause really, that
bombarding
is
of
my
people,
character.
other people.
I just don't get shitting on shit just to shit on shit. When we're having an adult
We've literally
conversation
talked about the Spider-Man thing as well.
debates
before.
and stuff like that, it's
Statement
different.
Right there with this group.
So Michael Wingle says we're a bunch of nerds. So hi, Michael.
That's
And then
true.
D'Angelo brought up something that I am actually really super fucking excited about. This Friday, episodes of Witcher
This
drop on
Friday.
Netflix.
I'm
yes.
fucking ready for that.
That shit looks fucking.
I've never played the
Gangbusters.
games,
We got
but I
Star
might.
Wars coming out Thursday, Witcher coming out Friday.
Can we talk about the 2 fucking massive Keanu Reeves movies coming out in 2021?
Matrix
4
4
and John Wick
On the
4.
same
On the
fucking
same
day.
day.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna cross over.
I swear to. I
That would be
swear,
awesome.
I swear to God, if Bill and Ted doesn't come out on the same day, I'm gonna be super irritated.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, D'Angelo, by calendar.
Comes out the day after.
Why would they do that though?
I don't know.
that
Just
is
like
a
you
lot
just
of
want
shit
to
to live with.
cripple Matrix 4 a little bit.
Bill and Ted, wait.
We did say your name, Michael. Calm the fuck down.
Michael, by calendar.
Yes.
Oh,
Lily does.
Look into my eyes.
Gentlemen, it's been great, but I gotta go on the road.
right
I
on.
have a 2-hour drive south. So,
D'Angelo wants to know if
Hopefully
Matrix
not
4
too
is going to be
My
a
Facebook
new story
Drink
for
some
it.
coffee.
Have they talked about that? At
They
all?
haven't talked about whether it's going to spawn any other movies, but
Okay.
I think as far as I know, it's essentially a sequel. It's not a reboot.
Yeah, I think it's a
That's
sequel.
good.
And
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to drop or plant seeds for new storytelling.
And I don't think they've confirmed any other ones though.
No, they haven't. Because I think they're waiting to see how well this one does.
I
Since
think
the
it'll do
last,
well.
since Matrix 2 and 3, although you enjoy them, aren't received.
Well, 3 was
super
the
great.
most
They
inferior
made money,
of
though.
the 3.
I'm
For
pretty
sure.
positive they made money.
That's
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm
they
saying.
made tons of money, but I'm saying
Chelsea
like,
said bye.
it
So
kind
does
of harkens back
D'Angelo.
to Juan's constant argument. Like, well, it made money, then it did good. But that's
It did
not
good.
if the popular opinion says that it's not super great.
I agree with you.
TOTLB.com
But I think from a
/shop.
studio perspective, I think the studio can care less if people like the movies or not.
Oh, for sure. That's
Michael,
why we
I
ended
posted
up-
the link for
So,
you right there.
but here's what I'm saying. Here's why it makes sense to me.
Hobbs and
If
Shaw.
you're selling a product
Yes.
and you fucking make $1 million, isn't your assumption going to be, fuck, it's a good product?
I guess.
Well,
But
why
I
don't
have-
you guess?
but 'cause-
Yes, the answer is yes.
Because I have artwork that
It's
I will
both. It's both sides though, because you get I'm gonna take it back to your most beloved of franchises. Hobbs and Shaw is a replay movie.
Well, I don't think it's my most beloved of franchises.
But
I think it is.
I like Fast and Furious.
Well, it's
but
like,
it made a shit ton of money, right? But it's still not.
Yeah.
But from the perspective of, will they make more Hobbses and Shaws?
oh god,
Probably yes.
because
But
it's super
but
easy.
I'm saying when we talk about this, when we talk about this,
D'Angelo said Migos sold records and are complete garbage. Yes.
who sold records?
Migos, they're
The little
Rap
fucking
group.
No,
animal?
he's talking about the rap group,
Oh.
yeah.
not the old collectible.
Yeah, that's what I was like. What?
So
Yes.
so
But-
See you,
D'Angelo,
brother.
here's the problem: is this has been the perpetual argument of our show for like 5 years.
Yes, it's happened many times.
where Juan's understanding of if things are good or not is a valid understanding. It's a valid understanding that something can be thought of as good because it makes money. Whereas someone that's like Doyle or me has a much more subjective idea of what's good, and we decide if something's good based on like its creative
But
merit.
you keep spinning what I'm saying completely wrong.
No, this
Yes,
is what
you do.
say. You
No.
say this so
No,
much.
listen to me. I think a movie is good or not based off of how I see it, how I watch it. What I'm saying is that in the overall, not just my opinion of the movie, if it makes a fucking shit pile of movie, there's probably way more people who think that it's good than don't think that it's good. That's all I'm saying. I may think it's bad, personally.
No, I understand that. You're just the only one that ever defends that position. So D'Angelo says,
Success looks differently to everyone.
exactly. Hey Tim, are you still here?
Yeah.
D'Angelo just wants you to know that clearly making money off of art doesn't mean you're good because people buy yours.
That's funny.
You know, I could say stuff back to you, but I like you.
I know.
To
Chelsea,
backpack
Chelsea
that,
said hi, Mom.
to backpack that,
Hi,
I do
Chelsea.
have artwork that I sell, and I sell out of, that I hate the piece specifically because I think it's not good.
Correct.
And where can
But
you go
it's
find it?
but it's successful.
You can find it at facebook.com/aggravatedart or at aggravatedart on Instagram. That's AGRO.
Argo.
No, aggro.
Agaro.
But it's successful. That's my point.
It sells well, but it's a piece of shit.
Right. But it's successful.
Yes.
Okay. That's the end. That's all that needs to be said.
I know you're just the only one that defends it.
Sometimes
I
you
understand it. I
Everyone
just hate it.
goes because of just hype, and then even they didn't
Yeah,
like the
that's
movie.
right.
Yeah.
I wish I could say, but
I feel like Hobbs and Shaw got that treatment.
I loved that though. Hobbs and Shaw was a fuckload of fun.
I liked it too.
It's just
What
shit.
is?
It's
I
just shit blowing up.
dislike that movie a lot.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
I was holding on until the Hawaiian dance.
Hobbs and Shaw.
I love that.
Hobbs and Shaw. 88% audience for.
I know. I
People
know.
like it.
I know.
That's
I'm
what
one
that
of
tells
those
you.
people.
It's still
I-
to replay.
Look, by all
But that's in your opinion.
by
That's
all
what I'm
accounts, I
saying.
should
Makes
fucking
it right.
despise it.
But that's what I could hate Hobbs and Shaw, but I look at 88% of the people who go
No
to
problem,
see it
Michael.
like the
I've
movie.
already argued
so
the point
it's
that you're
success.
arguing. I already said I brought it up in that vein. I knew it was going to be well loved because The Rock's in it. But you can't tell me that Hawaiian scene is just fucking
It
unnecessary.
made me laugh my ass off. I
The
thought it was-
dancing war cry?
I thought it was so fucking funny.
Side note, that's a thing that Hawaiians do. It means a lot to them. That Samoans do, I think. Not all
Yeah.
Hawaiians. Samoans.
You got 100 guys coming at you with rifles and you're sitting there with a stick in your hand. You're not getting all your cousins together to do a fucking skirt dance.
It's important spiritually to them.
It
Oh,
was
I
a
understand that
superhero
it
flick,
is.
D'Angelo.
I do understand. I'm just saying, they probably run away.
If I'm about to die, I'm going to do a spiritual dance.
No.
If I'm about to die, I'm going to go somewhere where I'm not about to die.
Yeah. If I'm about to
The problem
die,
is they're on an island. They're
if
not,
I'm about
they
to
can't
die,
go
I'm going to be like,
No, the problem is The Rock wants
and
to bone
Dr.
his
Manhattan
sister,
now.
and his sister's going to die if they don't stop it. The Rock doesn't understand this. He can bone lots of people's sisters. He just gets out of there.
Got some
Dad,
Harry
check out
Potter
this
glasses
my
on.
asses.
Yeah, here.
I
We
love
still have
them.
11 people watching our feed. By calendar.
I got a lot of people on here, I think.
Well, yeah, but those people don't matter.
Saw that there's a Fast and Furious game. It looks pretty lame.
What do you say?
D'Angelo says, I saw that there's a Fast and Furious game. It looks pretty
It
lame.
has gotten horrible.
Almost
It has
like
gotten
2K,
really bad
WWE
reviews.
2K20.
It probably would have helped if the game wasn't like starring Paul Walker as the main character.
And Vin Diesel, right?
Is it really?
I just assumed.
I don't know. I have the
That
only
to me makes me feel bad. I don't want to play the game.
the only thing
Yeah.
I've seen about it is it's gotten bad reviews. It's the only thing I've seen. I didn't even know it was out until I saw that article.
I don't either. I just assume the game starts out with like a fiery crash and Paul Walker dies.
Jesus fuck, dude.
Vin Diesel's like family.
What's wrong with you?
You know what's wrong with him. He's
Ryan
a bitter
Ross-
old Mexican.
Ryan Ross says a new one is
It
coming
happened in
out too,
real
but I
life.
don't know
That's
a
all
new
I'm
one what.
I assume a new Fast and Furious game
Yes.
or movie.
The 10th Fast and Furious movie supposedly will be the very last Fast and Furious.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That's what they
Right,
say.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
They have not said that to
Bye,
this
sir.
to this point.
Are they gonna
So,
Hobbs and Shaw it some more? Because those are
I
Fast and
think
Furious
so.
movies,
Buy a
too.
goddamn calendar, Michael.
Can we have a
Buy
Fast
a
and
Michael,
Furious?
buy a goddamn calendar.
I want to see one like all on like jet
It's
skis.
got half naked women in it. It's fucking amazing.
Hot hat naked winner.
Fast and Furious jet ski
I don't
edition.
understand. It's gotten so many likes and so many cool. Like a lot of people are saying a
People
lot
are
of good
cheap
things
on-
Instagram
people are
and stuff.
cheap.
So they are cheap. I don't know.
We're cheap sometimes. Not when
I'm
it comes
very
to buying
cheap.
this calendar, we're buying a lot of copies of this
We
calendar.
are buying. Doyle inundated us with fucking 12 calendars. We
I
gotta
said I
buy.
pay for it. Technically, it's 10 because the girls double
It is
up.
10, and then all our Patreon supporters, even our $1 Patreon supporters, should get the calendar.
So you could do that.
Yes.
Go to patreon.com/GOTLB.
There's nowhere else on Patreon where if you donate only $1, you get something.
correct.
I know because I live on the slate.
Correct.
Thank yous.
I give a Christmas present to all of our Patreon supporters every year. So.
That's
We
very
did
nice.
start with that, Michael. It said we talked about how it's a fucking boudoir calendar.
It's been in every post.
Like
I've made.
everything we've said about it involves half naked women.
I've posted
Like, are you fucking serious?
Every
like,
day
are you
I've
just
posted
not
a new
listening
episode.
to what I'm saying.
If you go back 6 months, when we
What?
bust out the dictionary and describe the game what boudoir means,
we've been fucking talking about this calendar for fucking months. We talk.
No,
We're
Ryan,
posted on
Ryan, don't
page.
buy one. Don't buy one. You're getting one.
Buy
Don't
one extra.
no, you can buy another
Oh,
one.
okay. You can buy an extra one, but I'm saying you are getting one.
Give it to
Fuck,
him.
Michael.
Catholic priest.
Is that the spy?
Yeah, it's the spy.
That's the spy.
Yeah.
He needs to buy a
You
calendar.
need to buy a calendar
Buy
because
one
you're
for a young
spying.
priest and an old priest.
I don't think
Here, I'll,
priests are
I'll
allowed to
shoot
look
you
at
the
those.
link one more time, Michael.
Oh yeah, I'll put it in our thing too.
I just like the idea of like it causing a priest to stumble.
Throw up our Patreon too.
Oh my god.
He says he tries to tune out most things that I say.
Every day
What
for
the
the
fuck are you listening to this for?
every day for the past week and a half, I've literally posted a new picture of the month.
Oh, excuse me.
He has exercise.
How come you change your schedule? Did they change it or did you ask to change it?
At work?
Yeah.
I asked to change.
He was done with them overnights.
I've asked to change, get off overnights a couple times, but this was like I need off overnights.
How's that going?
Cool, I cut the bum holes by day now.
Nice.
No, it's going really very good.
Nice.
Not that these people care, but sleeping at night is so much better than sleeping during the
Oh, I
day
like a baby doggy.
for most
Okay.
people. Yeah.
People care.
I can. I would not want to sleep during the day.
No, I
at
hate
night.
sleeping during the day.
I'm much more alert and awake throughout most days.
Oh, you
Not
can
today, it was
You-
like 4 in the morning. so
You
I'm
don't remember
tired.
that, Michael? Michael, you were the Nerd Store spy.
Yeah, yeah.
You came to be on an episode of the show right when the Nerd Store was originally starting its podcast, so you joked about how you were the Nerd Store spy.
Yeah, from the stupid nerd store.
Yeah, he agrees with that because now he doesn't work there anymore, and like Travis accused him of stealing from him.
Fuck Travis. I almost caught myself saying it as I said it, and then it came out. Well,
It doesn't matter.
what is he saying?
I haven't been there for so long.
D'Angelo said before he was hurt at his union job, he worked nights for 20 years, couldn't do days.
It's just
Some people don't like working days.
no. Some people are really hardcore night people,
Yeah,
and
and
I
that
just
makes
I
sense.
don't think I could do it.
Left to my own devices, I like being up at night till like 2 or 3 in the morning.
Yeah,
But it's doing
I was
once.
up until 2 this morning.
Michael says that was coincidence. I listen to you guys a lot and haven't listened to Travis once.
I I couldn't work overnights with any modicum of responsibility because I will fuck something up.
Oh, and I will sleep. Can you get me some more water?
Have you
since you're doing
seen
stuff?
Have you seen that fucking GIF where the dude is driving the
I almost
forklift
killed a guy.
and he hits a shelf and fucking the whole thing comes down?
And it just
That
shows
would
up.
be me.
I have done
I
that.
have seen that. Yes, you
That's
have.
fucking insane.
Prolapsed uterus.
Yes.
I
No.
dropped- I dropped an entire pallet of cottage cheese one time, and it was a nightmare.
Oh shit.
What did you want
That sounds nightmarish.
to drink? Water.
Bar.
Water, yeah, thank you.
My iPad's about to die.
I could listen-
5%.
I could list the many things I have accidentally done at night shifts.
Do we need to wrap up then? Or,
It's up to you guys.
I mean, it is that
I'm
time.
feeling about
It
plus
is
we still got
9:14.
a few minutes of transferring files.
Yes.
D'Angelo says he is a critical insomniac, so I don't need much sleep. Oh, clinical.
Oh, I was like,
critical.
that
I
doesn't
just
sound very
I
good.
take
Yeah,
micro naps throughout the day.
I saw that
all
kind
day.
of shit in person. Yeah, I'm knocked over a couple racks. Thank you.
You
No,
good?
that
You
was
anything?
more than a couple.
Oh,
of
okay,
minutes.
thank you.
Take this one.
What?
That guy in the video.
Oh yeah, he
He
knocked
knocked
out like a
over
whole
like a whole
warehouse.
warehouse.
Yeah.
To be fair, it looked very chintzy. Like he barely hit
Tapped
it.
it and
then
everything
just
like.
You know, crazy thing.
All right, so other pop culture stuff. What else have you watched before Juan's thing dies?
So I just bought this movie, and it's relevant to our other talk because it has the Green Arrow in it. Code 8. Fear is the most dangerous power. It has your boy Green Arrow in it.
No.
the guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's in the movie.
not
like the
Green-
main
I
star.
thought like Green Arrow was in it. Not Stephen
Amell,
Amell.
right?
Yeah, I thought like the
No.
Green Arrow was in it. I was like, what the fuck?
No, it's like I didn't see this movie or anything about this movie, and then when I saw it, I thought it was gonna be cheesy, but the special effects
See you,
are
D'Angelo. Have a good night, man.
See you, D'Angelo.
honestly
Buy
look
a
for it
calendar.
on, yes, look for it on Amazon or whatever. The effects are right up there. It's like a portion of the population have powers, and they're being discriminated against. Like it's weird. Like at first, when people were found out they had powers, they just integrated them into the workforce.
Firestorm's in it too.
It's a really good movie,
Nice.
like surprisingly, and it looks amazing too. There's these giant drones, like they just take drones, giant size them, and they carry like 2 robotic cots. So whenever there's any problem with powered people, you see like freaking robots just superheroing out of the sky, machine gunning down people. Badass.
What
I was
about
like,
Free Guy?
Where
That
the
looked
fuck
good.
did they make this movie?
So, Hannah has really wanted to see Zombieland 2, but the only showing of it has
Boy wants to see
has-
Zombieland too.
the only showing of it at the theater now is at 10:45, which is like way past her bedtime, so she hasn't been able to see it. But Mel wanted to take her to a movie, and she's like, "Well, what do you want to see? You know, blah blah blah. Frozen 2 is out. This is out. That's out." And they watched the trailers for all the movies that were out. And Hannah's like, "What about that one?" And Mel clicked on the trailer for Knives Out, and Hannah was like, "Oh, that looks really fun. Let's go see that." So Mel went with Hannah to go see Knives Out, a murder mystery with which is the one that plays Captain America? Chris Evans?
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay.
Not Hemsworth.
Yeah, not Hemsworth. So they went to see Knives Out. Hannah liked it so much that the next day she made Mel take me and Hannah back to see Knives Out a second time. And I gotta tell you guys, it's really, really good.
I heard some good things about it. I
it's-
didn't even know what it was.
It's very original. It's very different. It's funny.
I don't know what it is.
It's a murder mystery that plays kind of like a little bit like the original Clue with Tim Curry. A little bit like Murder on the Orient Express. It's just a
Is that
ton.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
someone just sent
Oh,
a
okay.
paragraph and just typing more.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
Are they talking about buying a calendar?
no, he's talking about Travis.
Oh, the spy.
You know what? Buy Travis a calendar.
That would be amazing.
Oh my
A
god.
TOTLB calendar up in the nerd store.
I may
He
buy
would-
one just
he wouldn't.
But yeah,
Well, yeah, somebody said put it up in John's shop, and I was like, he's got like kids in there. Right?
he's
We
got a
can't put
kids section.
Yeah, we
You
can't.
want to
put
send
up
one
that
to the
kind of
Z3
calendar
guys?
there. They're not.
I
They're
know they're
different.
not.
No.
Because we won.
Who put that? You put
I
that.
put that, yeah.
I was like, oh, fuck.
This really rubs it in.
Oh,
You're
Oh,
choking
man.
on your defeat. Here's a boudoir calendar for you.
Oh man.
Hopefully the Zacks buy a calendar.
Yeah, Zax, come on.
1550, guys. I know we keep talking about
Juan's really panicked about
We
it.
No,
talk shit
I'm
about
not
you guys, but
panicked.
it doesn't.
We put a lot of work
Yeah,
into this,
I
and
know.
there's been a lot of people who are like, "Yeah, I'll buy it."
An
Woo,
obsessive
woo."
amount of work.
And then fucking nobody.
Due to
wants to
miscommunication,
buy it.
way more work than we should have had to do it.
But it was a blast.
But it was very
I
good.
liked it. It was fun.
Megan Hall says, I have no sense of time or space, no calendars. Buy a calendar!
Well, yeah,
Megan Hall. I don't know who that is.
you can fix that with a simple
Ooh.
wall hanging.
Yeah, that's
Is it
a
Brian?
thumbtack. You don't even have to put a nail in the wall.
Yes,
I'm not
technology.
sure
Wade Johnson by calendar.
if Brandon's
Wade
wife
Johnson sounds like a
or
fake name.
Brandon's stepmom.
Why has Brandon not bought a calendar?
Because Brandon doesn't have a fucking job right now. He's
Hey,
poor
bro,
as
that's
fuck.
cool.
You can scrape 15 bucks.
You can put one on layaway.
Dude, he's got a kid.
I have 2 kids.
And a job.
Well, yeah,
He
I
doesn't
fucking
have-
went out there and found my ass a job.
Well, he just lost his job.
I'm
kids
sorry,
male?
Brandon. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Oh, those kids male.
Or I don't remember.
Sophia, you'll appreciate it.
Oh no.
Wade
Neely-
Johnson said
No.
thanks, but I don't know to what. Maybe when you said his name sounded fake.
This sounds like a movie name.
Wade Johnson.
Oh,
it really
Wade
does.
Johnson.
Like,
You know what it kind
fucking
of sounds
James
like?
Bond?
Dwayne Johnson.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
shit.
probably what you're thinking.
Dwayne, slightly less known brother of Wayne.
Megan said Brandon is making $37 an hour on the corner.
Hey,
You buy
in
2 calendars
half
every
an
hour.
hour, he can buy a calendar. Megan, lend him $15.
I'm trying to see.
Plus,
I
you can
can't
handle it.
scroll. I can't scroll up on my comments, so she said something else. I
If
missed
Megan was here, I'd tell her to buy a calendar, but she's a Patreon supporter. She's getting a calendar. You can always buy more, but all of our Patreon supporters are getting a calendar.
it. Okay, so Knives Out was great. Dr. Pole. I'm trying to think of the other stuff. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 15. I started that again. I fucking love those games.
Me too. They just take too long.
Yeah.
I like getting. I can't do it because one, I don't have a ton of time to play video games.
Right.
But when I sit down and do it, I'm fucking in the zone,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I don't want to stop.
The dynasty has come to an end.
Which is
Rambo.
the
Get out
last
of the
Rambo
kitchen.
film.
Yes. Last Blood.
Last Blood.
It is terrible.
Oh, you watched it? It's already out.
It's bad.
Megan says he can't last a half hour. So.
But I'm glad to
So
see
it must
wrap
be.
up. You know what
It
I
must be his wife. I don't think his mother-in-law or his
Stepmom.
stepmom is talking about his sex life. I could be wrong.
I mean,
No, no.
she would bust his balls if I remember right.
Literally.
She's like about the same age as Brandon. Like I think they went.
This sounded sexier and sexier.
I think if I remember right, Brandon went to school with his stepmom.
Wow.
If I remember right, that might be wrong.
I know. I don't want you here. Go.
I don't know. You don't have to explain that online, Megan. You can tell me. You can send me a private
You
message
already
like
had
Michael
a cup.
Littleton.
Find the cup you had.
Yeah.
Well, go find it.
Come on, Dick Cheese, figure it out.
Hey, don't get an attitude.
I'll punch you.
I'll punch all you.
Technically, he's not Hispanic. He was born with an attitude.
Well, it was. Well, she's half Hispanic. It was-
Michael
it
Langle
was
said that's the plot of a porn.
Yeah, this guy's.
You're right, Michael. It really is.
Michael Buck.
Basically, it's the front page of Pornhub.
Pop into your shoulder, I don't want your cuties.
There's a
Pornhub.
lot of fucking stepbrothers and stepmothers.
There is a ton of
stepsisters.
step whatever on Pornhub for some reason.
That's never been a. I don't. Where did that fantasy go from?
I don't know. It's weird.
I have.
I mean, it
stepsiblings.
comes from Clueless, I think.
Clueless. The
Movie. That's like the whole plot of the movie.
And I haven't seen
Is
that
that she
movie.
falls in love with her stepbrother.
I haven't seen that
Johnny.
movie in a grip.
go.
Can't be in here.
Don't worry, they can't see Johnny because
Yes.
Doyle is 100% in the way.
Great.
Look, let's see if I can see him.
A little bit.
I see like a blurry little head.
What else? Anything else?
Star
Look at
Wars
Doyle.
is coming
He's all
out. Witcher's
fucking
coming out.
Picard. Well, yeah, but up it's like 4.
How was that? Have you watched that?
It's not out yet, but it's coming out soon. I think,
Hmm,
like beginning of next year.
nice.
Super stoked about Picard. Young Sheldon and Neighborhood are both pretty good.
I like Young Sheldon. I've been watching it since it
I
came
don't know
out.
what neighborhood is.
It's It's like a white family moves into a black neighborhood.
Oh, with Cedric.
Cedric the Entertainer. It is very over the top to the point where I feel annoyed sometimes watching it, but it's still funny though.
It's a little. It runs on the line of racism, which is where Doyle likes to live.
Yeah.
It's too racist.
What?
Well, it follows that line of like black people can't be racist. Have you heard of that? It's really stupid.
Yeah, it is. I
But-
can agree with that.
That show has a
Everybody
lot
can
to
be
do with that.
racist.
Yeah.
According to that show, black people can be racial, but not racist.
That's weird.
That's not
A
true.
lot of
I agree.
older Mexicans are racist as fuck.
Like
A
literally.
lot of younger Mexicans are racist.
Like literally in the news, like black nationalists shot Jews earlier this week. So
Pretty racial.
yeah, it's pretty racist.
Or they're just not very good shots. We don't know.
No, they're.
They're trying to shoot other black people.
Oh, that's fucked up. Shut
Sun
up.
got their eyes.
Just shut
Took
up.
a Jew
Just
out.
shut up.
Wow.
Fuck, man. I did
What?
that.
Yeah, yeah, I know. I was like,
what?
Oh man.
Oh man.
I'll have to show you that Paul Rodriguez bit about that. It's something along that line. So he's talking about white people shooting up schools, and he's talking about how they got good equipment and shit, and how many drive-bys Mexicans would have to do to shoot fucking 20 people.
One.
If they shot it like, I don't know, a 1996 Honda Civic, there's about 20 Mexicans in there.
Anything else?
I don't know, man.
I think we're running out of steam.
I think so.
I've said buy a calendar too many times.
Yeah.
You did.
Buy a calendar is boobies. Buy a calendar.
There, I haven't posted today's picture yet, but if you flash the camera, I bet somebody will buy a camera.
Please don't flash the camera. That will get us taken
I
immediately
don't want you
down.
guys being shut down.
I don't need to be in Facebook jail for 30 days.
Yeah, you gotta friend people you don't know.
Well, yeah, a bunch of them watch. Michael Legel says hi, by the way.
Hi, Michael. I missed him.
Spy.
I miss him.
He's forever known as the spy.
He is the spy.
He's not a spy.
No, he is.
He is.
No, he's
And
not.
we beat Z2. And on that note, everybody, thank you for listening to Thinking Outside the Long Box. This has been episode
Does anybody know
166.
why they quit?
No.
No.
This was Tim. He's not here anymore.
Why is he so
Tim.
tall?
This is Tim. I've been Gabe. That's my wife, Mel.
I'm Doyle.
I'm Juan.
Be sure to check us out, www.totlb.com or totlb.com/shop to get our new boudoir calendar for 2020. Can you please stop pushing me away
There's
from the mic?
there's other cool things in our shop.
There
If you
are.
order it late, we'll just label it 2021. We'll go fuck. Days might be a little off.
Here's the thing. I really want to do another one. I don't care how many we sell. I really want to. I'm literally, and I'm not even fucking around. When we buy these calendars, I will be in the hole probably like $200. So, but it's fun.
I already said I'd help you buy.
No. But but I mean, it's. I think it's cool, and I want to do it again. But I want to share that with people.
Buy a laptop this year.
Oh man. So,
No, you're not gonna share it with us.
it's a private message. I don't want to share it out loud.
Oh, it's a private message.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
When it goes
Oh.
bing, that's a.
That's why I was like, all of a sudden, I can hear your computer. It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's just that one thing. I'll tell you in a second.
So what he didn't tell you about Knives Out is that, so,
The Clue movie.
yeah. So Hannah and I went to go see it, right? And I was like, I had this little
Guess
8-year-old
this
with
is
me.
how we're ending the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were
No, go
ending.
ahead. We were,
Okay,
but then
so,
you started it back over.
sorry, I thought he was done. I don't pay attention to Juan. Anyhow, so I
I
go
wasn't even
in.
talking.
I know.
I go in and I was like, 2 tickets for Knives Out. And he goes, you know it's PG-13. And Hannah goes, yes, I know it's PG-13. He goes, wouldn't you rather see something like Frozen? Because Frozen 2's out. And she goes, do I look like I want to see Frozen 2? And she goes, I want to see Zombieland 2. But it's an hour and a half past my bedtime, so I can't go see it. So 2 for Knives Out, please. And he's like, yes, ma'am.
Side note, Frozen 2 is okay.
I wish when he said, "Don't you want to see Frozen 2?" she would have been like, "Nah, bitch."
Okay.
I know, but it would have been amazing.
And they would have been kicked out.
Yeah, right. Anyway, visit us
That's what I emailed.
www.totlb.com. We've all said our names already.
Yeah.
Bye.
Google us.
Buy a calendar!
Use Google.
Use Google.
Or Yahoo.
Twitch
or Bing.
and
We don't
YouTube.
give a fuck.
Did
Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you guys
Did you
soon.
tell Mel what March 14th was?